All right, it's another edition of KFC Radio on the Barstool Sports Podcast Network. We are in week 4 of quarantine, a month in, and pretty much all anybody has is the internet and TV. And I feel like internet content to me, this is how my day goes. I open up any social media platform and I hear, I'm a savage. And I just fucking want to just break it and throw it out the window and be like, I can't do it anymore.
Who sings that song?
Megan Thee Stallion.
That's Megan Thee Stallion?
Yeah, I just fucking I don't like the song, but I like the TikToks in the beginning. But then the TikToks bleeded into IG, and now it's onto Twitter, and it's like
I can't do any more Savage, and I can't do any more Joe Exotic. Because, folks, it's time to admit that wasn't even that good a documentary.
It wasn't that good. But everyone was so excited for this episode that's supposedly, allegedly coming this week, which Jeff Lowe is a fucking piece of shit. Yeah, I mean, it was a good couple episodes. It was, you know what I wonder? Like when I watched Jersey Shore back in 2010, whenever that first dropped, and people were like it was, they were like at the zoo. They were watching like a science experiment. They were looking at aliens. And I was like, these are just the kids I go to high school with. I wonder if down in Florida and Oklahoma, if people are like, yeah, there was the large cat zoo, and they have guns, and they have no legs, and they fuck each other. Like, yeah, no big deal, dude. That's just life down here. So I think it was a very interesting couple episodes for the way we live to be like, oh, that's how the other half does it. But I mean, we're acting like it was, the Jinx or fucking, some of these.
I always do. I just when anyone ever asks me for something to do something at Barstool Sports, just say yes. It could be ad, it could be Snapchat, it could be anyone. I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll do that. And today was like one of my first times ever going, nah. And it was for the Snapchat show, they asked me to do a take on the Joe Exotic, the person who dressed like Joe Exotic and did the dance.
Mm-hmm.
The Savage.
Yeah, bass. So, yeah.
I said I'm done with Joe Exotic takes. What else you got?
I know.
But first no ever. I was just like, no, I'm done. Can't do it.
Well, the newest quarantine content are these quarantine houses. Everybody asking, dude, why is my nose so red on these fucking cameras? What is that about?
I don't know. You look like Rudolph. Though.
Every time. It doesn't matter if it's the morning, if it's the night, if it's cold, hot, if I'm drinking, not drinking. My nose is bright red. And it's not like if you saw me normal, fine. That's on camera. It's these fucking cameras. I'm going to clean it up. Anyway, quarantine houses is the new meme going around. So you take a TV show, a brand, a league, whatever. You organize it into houses of 6 people. So the first one I saw was the Housewives one. Which house would you want to live in? And it was all different combinations of Real Housewives. Bethany and Dorinda and that bitch who calls herself a countess. So naturally, Barstool made one. Barstool quarantine houses. Do we know? Was this Josh? Is this Tommy Smokes? Do we know who made this?
I do not know the answer to that.
Well, it came from Viva La Stool, which leads me to believe it was Josh. Tommy also runs that and likes to stir the pot, so maybe it was him. But whenever this shit happens, whether it's a March Madness bracket with your favorite podcast, whether it's a mural being painted on the wall, whether it's a song that we all sang, Imagine, and people get cut from it or left out or they don't like their standing in it, it's drama. It's drama. So this is sure to stir up tons of drama where people are picking who they want to live with. And if your house isn't being picked, I'm just sure this is going to be a shit show. But 12 houses, 6 people each, 72 Barstool personalities, all organized into different houses where you want to live, John.
I definitely don't want to live in my fucking house.
Where's your house? House 3.
House 3.
Alex Cooper from Call Me Daddy. Gaz. Brandon Newman. Fights. Smitty. White Sox Dave.
And it's like, look, I don't personally dislike anyone in my house, but I don't vibe with anyone in my house either. I don't want to be in that house. That house, that house stinks. Let's just say it. Tommy Smoke said he did a breakdown of this, like Survivor style, and his one line for me was perfect. He had like 2 paragraphs describing what would be happening in his house, no mention of me, and then my own line afterwards said, Feidelberg would spend every waking second trying to escape. It's nothing against people individually. Just like I don't do anything with any of these people. I don't even have like one lifeline where it's like, okay, the two of us can be together. That's really never worked with anyone there.
House 8 for me. I have Frankie, who would be like my main man, and Hank, who I get along with. Wallow, after how long are we living? I'm assuming this is you live for the quarantine, right? So if I'm in a house with Wallow for like 4 months, I mean, we could barely do 40 minutes on stage with him without him shaving your face and picking a fight and ready to kill someone. I got Mantis's creepy ass, and I know that Trish is going to be like, "Do you want to play one-on-one? Do you want to fight? Do you want to do something?" I'm like, I don't want to do it. Just leave me alone. So I feel like me and Frankie would just like huddle up and be like, "Hank, come on over here. Come on over here with us."
I think Wallow would be a good person to have in the quarantine because like he respects personal space. He's a prisoner. He understands like this is where I live. That's where you live.
Although also leads me to believe he might just beat the shit out of me and turn me into his bitch or something. Like
he said that Wallow's told us.
What?
He's told us that prison wasn't like that. It wasn't. That's all television.
Yes. Except, like, I don't like. Did Wallow have the opportunity to run the fucking pen? Like, I feel like in this one, he'd be like, "Oh, all right, so you're like the elder statesman. You've been around for a decade plus. Hold my pocket, bitch." And I'd be like, "Okay, sure, I will." I'm looking at what just caught my eye. Ryan Whitney, Smokes, Balls, Big Ev, Trill. Jim So I love Whitney. I think Ryan Whitney's the funniest person at Barstool. Smokes is at least good conversation. We went to Fordham together. We got similarities. Love Glenny Balls. Mm-hmm. Love Big Ev. Love Trill. And then you have a like 40-year comedian.
Yeah, that's a good house.
It's a strong one.
I had the two houses I had eyes on at start were 1 and 6. I think Dan, Liz, Carabas, Ken, Jack, Trent, and Taylor Lewan. That's a good house. I think Taylor seems like a good dude. Obviously, Big Daddy Trent. Carabas.
You got Carabas and Trent. That's half of the whole Milk Boys.
Right. So. You get the whole Milk gang. Obviously, Dan, G-Chat gang, stand up. Mm-hmm. And then Ken Jack. Ken Jack's a funny ass dude, too. And then 6 is a strong house with Roan, Fran, Za, Pat, Coley, and Joey Molinaro.
Oh, wait! I didn't see that one. That's my house. I like every single person there.
Yeah.
There's not a single like, oh man, I'm good with everybody there.
That 6 is strong, and then I'll tell you one house I personally like a lot. House 10. I think I'd have a lot of fun.
I don't have a single problem with anybody there.
But you might have a problem with the amount of wrestling that happens. It's a fun fighting house.
I was gonna say, the Cons YP nightly battle with KB being like, "Well, I'm gonna school you on some real shit," and Carl dives in there with his helmet, and then Bob Fox doing like real off the top wrestling moves, and PFT's like, "Let's play rugby," and I'm just like, "Does anybody want to drink and watch TV in this house? Does anybody want to just do something quiet right now?"
That's I think 1, 6, 10, and 12 are probably your best houses there.
How about house 7? Portnoy, Marina, which is Portnoy extended, Jeff Nadeau, Rico Bosco, but like fat, and Guido. Frank Fleming just being fucking crazy Frank Fleming. And I would have to imagine Sophia would kill herself within minutes, right? I would have to just like team up with Ellie and be like, "Do you want to just tweet on social media right now?" Let's just do that.
Dave might try to escape that house harder than I try to escape my house. Dave might be like, "What the fuck? Get me out of here."
I think Dave is trying to escape any house he's put in. I don't think he can tolerate maybe a house with Dan, and that would be about it. Everyone else, he'd be like, "Get me the fuck off this planet." But
the Tommy Smokes having in I only read the write-up from my house, but he was like, Gaz would immediately try and become Alice Cooper's producer and be like, despite her repeatedly saying she does not need one and she can do it all herself, and Gaz like, no, here, I'll film, and I don't know, just off the top of my head, you can start off every video with like, "All right, Paulie."
My favorite house is the Brandon Walker house. Oh, wait, Brandon Walker, you were left off this entirely, despite the fact that you're on like 40% of our programming now. I don't know if that was intentional. I don't know what's worse, if this was just an intentional jab at him or if someone actually forgot about Brandon Walker's entire existence. But either way, your boy Brandon is not happy.
Dude, I genuinely think he's not happy. I don't think it's a bit. I think Brandon Walker is very sad about this, which is exactly what we're talking about. Like, who actually cares? Who cares? How are you that upset?
The only thing I would say is that the only thing I like about Brandon Walker, he's very, very motivated. He came to me during the quarantine, and he was like, I want to do more. I want to make sure I'm at the top of the pack. I want to make sure that I'm always like at the forefront of everyone's mind. And so if you're like shooting for that and you get left off of a list of 72, I could see that not cutting deep. So when you're the 73rd pick at a company, that might hurt. So condolences to Brandon. My official pick though is for sure House 6. That's just unless Joey Molinaro gets on your nerves if he just does impressions like all the time. It's just like, stop doing Frank Caliendo, man. Just stop doing it. Other than that, I have no problem.
From what I don't know much about Joey. I've obviously never really seen him. I met him briefly, but no, not extensively. He seems like a very good dude. Indianapolis dude. Indianapolis people, I feel like,
yeah, they're all good.
Look, I'll just don't worry about it. I'm good.
All right, yeah. So that's that's quarantine houses. You'll be seeing them everywhere. Make sure you fill out your Barstool house and keep up with all the quarantine content coming out of Barstool. As far as quarantine content goes, the best quarantine content I've seen, hands down, in a runaway, is what I thought was going to be some of the more controversial content. Louis C.K. dropping a new special. Louis put it out on his streaming service, and so as the guys who do comedy and have all the comedians come through, we got to talk about it. But since we are all sitting at home, one of the only the activities you can do is online shop. And there's a lot to do. Everything from just like your day-to-day shopping down to buying new clothes and new shoes and maybe money that you would be spending out. You're no longer spending at the bar or the restaurant, so now you can spend it on yourself shopping.
I am straight up addicted to buying vinyl records. I buy 5 a night.
No.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm jacked. Because here's the problem, right? So,
right?
Huh?
They're expensive, right?
There's really no rhyme or reason to the pricing of vinyl records I've learned.
Okay.
Like, some for $16, some for $80. It doesn't make any sense.
And you're just like, okay, buy it, whatever.
Yeah. I don't do much research. I'm like, yeah, sure, that one looks good.
Right.
But I've really boned myself here because I obviously got the record player, and I just started watching High Fidelity on Hulu, which is unbelievable. It's so and it's all set in a record store, and they're like talking about. So like, they'll talk about some old record, and I'm like, oh, I gotta get that. And it just
possibly not have this in my vinyl collection.
Just constantly having vinyl records mailed to my house.
Well, make sure you rock with Honey to see if there's any vinyl promo codes out there. Honey is an online browser plugin that automatically will pick up any promo code for whatever it is you are shopping. So if you are at Target buying everyday stuff, when you go to checkout, you click apply coupons, and it will run through all the promo codes in existence, find out if there's anything for your toiletries and your everyday stuff. If you're at Best Buy and you're buying gadgets, if you're on eBay, I'm in the market right now. I'm trying to get an old Nintendo 64. If you're on eBay, there might be a promo code. Walmart, Sephora, Macy's, all your major retailers, they're going to have promo codes available. And rather than you having to know them all, you having to search for them. How many times I've done that before? Like promo code like March 2020 for this, and then it's like they never really work or they're not actually promo codes. Honey cuts out all that bullshit for you. It automatically applies any promo code in existence, the best ones for whatever it is you're purchasing. It's literally free money. You have no reason not to do it. It installs in seconds. It's secure. It's reliable. It doesn't slow down your connection or your browsing at all. And you can add it for free when you go to joinhoney.com/KFC. I'm just like begging you on this one. Just go to joinhoney.com/KFC. When you see how easy it is, it's like I'm trying to think of a comparable thing that like I was maybe resistant to at one point, and now it's just like the absolute fucking norm.
You know what I was resistant to?
What?
For a long time,
What?
text messaging.
Right. Okay. So honey is text message. I remember this too. The girl that I was dating, my very first girlfriend, I've talked about her before. She's fucking from Kenya and Barbados, all over the world. And basically, like everywhere else in the world started text messaging before America did. So she was telling us about text messaging. And I remember me and my brother being like, okay, yeah, we're going to type out messages to each other. Sure thing, you fucking moron.
Dude, I vividly remember the commercial. It was a Verizon wireless commercial. And people were at a concert, and it was like, "Hey, where are you? Can't see you," or something like that. And the message would pop up, and I was like, "What kind of fucking? Why would you do that? Use this? You just call them and say, "Where are you?" And guess what? I'm back on that train. It's just the whole world has not come with me.
Yeah, you are on that train alone. You are on like a quarantine train right now. Nobody in fucking sight. But don't resist this one. You're gonna regret it if you do. Go to joinhoney.com/KFC. Start saving free money today. What I thought was the last thing the world needed, I'm completely changing my tune. When I saw Louis C.K. drop the special, and I was thinking about how already polarized the world is, and how much people are already at each other's throats on social media, and how opinions are just clashing left and right, I thought a Louis C.K. prominently featured special is not what the world needs right now. And I've learned two things. One is I don't think it's actually caused that big of a stir. So I don't know if that's good or bad. I mean, Louis probably as a guy who wants to go back to normal life is probably like, okay, that was the first time I've done something that hasn't been headline news. But I think when you drop a special, you usually like some buzz. So that's the first thing I noticed. And number two, I learned that you can be weird with your masturbation habits, and you can even maybe do some very unsavory things with your masturbation, and you can still be fucking funny.
Yeah,
very fucking funny.
I wish only the best people had talent.
Right.
And I wish that Tyreek Hill wasn't so fast, and I wish Louis C.K. wasn't so funny.
But there are facts of life.
Fucking are, man.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I wasn't rooting against him per se. There was even in some of my darkest moments, I have felt like him in a way. But
boy, real dark.
Yeah, but I mean, there are plenty of people out there who were so appalled with him the same way they were appalled with me. And does that mean that you shouldn't be able to crack jokes and make content ever? I've had those conversations to myself in my own head. So there's definitely been times where I was like hoping selfishly, like, all right, if he makes it through it, I can make it through. Then there were times where I was like, I would prefer the funniest of comedians to be people who haven't had any sort of run-ins like this. And now I'm just over all that, and I'm not thinking about any of that, and I'm just here to be entertained. And his special, what is the name? I don't even know the name. Sincerely. His special, I don't know if maybe recency bias, prisoner of the moment. It's one of the funniest specials I've ever seen. I mean, it is fucking hilarious.
I laughed out loud.
So many times.
It was probably the hardest I've laughed since Nate Bargatze's Tennessee Kid.
Yeah, I mean,
it's the last 2 years.
And his once you can, if you don't have a personal problem with it, and he's got an audience of, I think he said 1,400 people. They're chanting his name. They are like in full support. They're laughing out loud.
I wasn't doing that. I thought that was bizarre. Like,
yeah, well,
standing up like he's a returning hero. It was just like, all right, I'm gonna see if this dude's funny. And guess what? He's fucking funny.
He is. And even when I saw it's $7.99 because Louis was the first guy to, he just put everything on his own website. He circumvented Live Nation and all the streaming services and all that shit. And I think he was being regarded as like a hero because of that. And then obviously all his shit went to hell. And he came back, and it was I thought that was a pretty ballsy move to be like, oh, all right, you're charging $8. Like I can get a month of a streaming service for this. I'm gonna get an hour from you. It's worth every fucking penny. I mean, I would have paid $50 for that if I had known how funny it is. And you can be.
I would have paid $50. I would have paid whatever he charged for it. It was
knowing how funny it is now. Whatever his next special is, carte blanche. You can charge whatever the fuck he wants. And I'm sure some people are gonna have a problem with that. I'm sure some people go the other direction, like the people who are cheering for him. But if you are just talking about funny and stand-up delivery and like the mastery of that craft, I can't imagine he's not in the top fucking 5 still. You know, it's like
there's so many things he does that are just like obviously all his bits are so funny, but he has this little thing. Like you actually had it in your blog today. You had a clip when he's talking about, he's basically making a joke about Pascal's wager, where it's, believe in God, the fucking the quad chart where it's, if you believe, the only way that everything ends up perfectly is if you believe in God and there is a God. Everything else sucks. Everything else doesn't matter. The only one that is perfect is believe in God, there's God. But he talks about how if you're an atheist and you better hope there's no God. And the way he just does and he looks up and goes, oh, with the beard and everything, it was so funny.
And then even right after that, when he tries to make his case and he's like, yeah, I know. I'm just going to go. I'm going to that to me, and that's where I really think I feel like I've learned that, like, those are the things you pick up doing your set a million times. Like, on the road, like, all right, when I made that noise, when I exhaled that way, it really got a laugh. And when I, all that shit. And I don't know how long I don't know if he did do all that, because he wasn't, I feel like you heard every time Louis took the stage, you heard. It was like Chappelle, So I don't know if he really did have time to perfect all that.
Nah, he did. There were a lot of stories about him.
Was he? He was back on like the regular circuit.
Yeah. There was sort of where like people were upset because they weren't getting warned that they were going to see a Louis C.K. show.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying, I mean, I remember like a couple instances of that, but not like, a lot of these comics are doing that shit 4 times a week for a year before they do a special. But it is, I cannot, from just a strictly funny point of view, putting aside everything else, I cannot recommend that shit enough.
There are parts of it too where like it almost feels like he's always been controversial. I mean, fuck, he had a very popular bit that I never found funny. I never understood at all about the N-word. And remember like that whole thing about the barista who he calls the N-word, like who's just a white hippie? I never got that bit, but people like it. But so he's always said anything. But this one did have a feel of it where he's like, he did like every controversial thing.
Yeah. Which
I've been back, right? Like I've been canceled and here I am. So it's almost like he's a dog who realized he wasn't even leashed up anymore.
Right. And
like,
I think here I go. Very cool about like when you are like, I truly, and I'm not just saying this, I truly don't give a fuck anymore. Like I've made, you're either down with me or you're not. I've found, he talks about like, I found my true friends, and that's very funny too. He's like, your true friends are never the friends you want to be your friends. But the ones that stick by you, but
you got your fun friends, you got your party
friends, and then you got your but he knows like who his business partners are, he knows who his sponsors are, he knows who his fans are, and he knows who his enemies are, and he doesn't fucking care anymore. And that level, it's like the comedy version of like Man on Fire. Like you cannot fucking stop me, you cannot scare me. And I mean, yeah, he hits 9/11, he hits the Boston Marathon, he hits racial stuff, he hits the R word, I guess. I can't even say it anymore. God, religion. The last 10 minutes is him talking about jerking off in front of people, which I didn't know. I don't know how I felt about that. I was like, if he didn't address it at all, I was going to be like, what the fuck? To just make it part of your comedy set, that's probably pretty infuriating for the victims and the people who are against him, but he doesn't fucking care. And It's like, it is one of the funniest hours I've ever seen in my life. So, I don't know. What do you think, though, the fact that there's kind of a lack of controversy? Do you think that either signals that it's A, not successful, or B, that he's just back now? Like,
no, I think it's successful. I think people just don't want to say it was funny. So that's why I bet a lot of people watched that. And I bet a lot of people, I was texting people being like, look, I just got to recommend something for you. I'm not going to tweet it, but got to tell you about something that's really funny for an hour.
Really fucking funny. And
obviously, like, we're going to be pretty public with our, like, we're saying on quite a popular podcast. But I think regular people were probably just like, well, boy, that was funny. And then don't say anything else.
Yeah. Like I can't, he made it so good that it's bulletproof. Like you can't even really knock it. I did find it interesting where he was just like, I thought those people were cool with me jerking off in front of them, and like they weren't. And I'm like, boy, I don't know. That's probably oversimplifying things greatly, Louis. But if you take his word, and it's obviously which story or which version you're going to believe. But that was dicey. That was like
when he was talking about how like everyone has a thing, and like, I don't know your thing. Do you know how lucky you are? And he goes, fucking Obama.
Even the little segues, like, so how you guys been for, I don't know, 2 years? You're getting global trouble. When he said, he goes, I was in France last year because I had to flee the nation. I would have fled the planet if they had another one of those. Like, it's just, he's got a way with words that, even I could see even some of the most staunch Louis C.K. haters being like snickering, like, fuck, that was funny.
If you watched it, you thought it was funny. And, and that's fine if you don't want to watch it. But if you watched it, like, you couldn't have not thought that was funny.
Right. And maybe you're saying that, but you don't believe it because it is undeniably hilarious. So, I mean, we're on a run right now. We had Segura, and we did Bert, we did Louis, and then D'Elia is in like a few days, I think, or like next week. So those guys all, I mean, let's call a spade a spade. If your schedule had your comedy special dropping and then quarantine started, you're a lucky motherfucker.
Pretty nice time.
Yeah, like, it's a pretty like. Have you watched Bert Kreischer yet?
The video? No.
Let's get into John's inability to handle any sort of secondary embarrassment. They did a comedy stream over the weekend, Comedy Laugh Aid. It was with All Things Comedy, which is Bill Burr's network, and they had a star-studded cast of comics come out. They did a live stream, and it raised money for all the comedians who were out of work. The big star of the night was Adam Sandler. I don't know how. I'm sure Bill Burr just called in like the biggest favor, got Adam Sandler to hop on a live stream in his house, and Bert Kreischer was the one to introduce it. And Bert admittedly is like, Adam Sandler is my idol. Now, Bert was probably shit-faced, and he just geeks out hardcore. He is like, his face is up against the fucking screen, and can we just make John, can we force him to watch it right now, Nick? Can we do audio?
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, we're going to make John watch it. We're going to make John watch this.
This is like, I'd rather you show me like a beheading. This is going to be tough for me.
This is our boy Bert Kreischer introducing Adam Sandler on this stream and then just completely blowing it with his all-time idol.
Ladies and gentlemen, this next comedian is one of my comedic heroes. He is the reason I do stand-up. He is the reason I've been writing movies that have never been made, but I love his movies. I love everything about this guy. Okay. Without further ado, the guy that defined all our personalities, Adam Sandler.
Oh, my God. That was unbelievable. Thank you.
Adam, have you ever heard of Bert? He doesn't think you know who he is.
I've seen Bert, right?
Got it. That's all I need.
I've seen you. Have I seen you around a comedy club or something? Or I've seen you on TV?
I'm the one guy with these. Hold on.
You go.
6 feet.
I'm the one guy shirtless. You want to hear a cool story, Adam, real quick?
Yeah, tell me.
Back in 1995, you did a show at Pow Wow at Florida State. Do you remember that?
Sure.
You hung out and ended up smoking weed with a bunch of girls. One of the girls I was dating at the time, she came to my place. We were throwing a party, and she was like, you need to leave this place right now and come with us. And I was like, no, not going to happen. And she was like, shut up and leave right now. The next morning, she called me. She goes, you dickhead, you could have partied with Adam Sandler. Bro, I have regretted that every fucking day of my life.
Tonight's our night, buddy.
Tonight's our night.
We'll get past this whole Corona thing, and then me and you will meet up late, bud.
I love it.
All right, good to see you, man. Dan Whitney, good to see you.
My youngest gets me every night. She's like, one more movie.
I know.
The other night, she goes, let's watch Dark Water. I go, Dark Water? One about DuPont's flooding the... Are you serious? She goes, it's a thriller, Dad. We'll get into it. Yeah. We're gonna watch your movie, Precious Gems, soon.
Oh, yeah. That'll be. I don't know if they're gonna like.
Bro, I showed them Happy Madison, and like not every movie translates. They watched Ace Ventura, and the girls go, "Are we laughing because he's special needs?" I go, "No, that's not the joke, guys. We watched Happy Gilmore. Happy Gilmore fucking destroyed in my house."
Yeah, good. Thanks, man.
No, good. Thanks, dude. Yes, it is. It's tough. It's a tough scene.
And then
really good. You have Netflix?
Yes.
He's such a good sport about it. When he asks Adam Sandler, "Do you have Netflix?" and it's like, Bert, Adam Sandler makes like $100 million a year.
Adam Sandler puts a movie on Netflix every month. Like Adam Sandler regularly makes movies for Netflix. He's got Netflix.
He like is Netflix. It's like he's like 50% of Netflix. Now Bart is like, you know, totally self-aware, an incredibly good sport about it. But I sent that to John the night it happened, and he was like, "I'm not watching this." And it's like,
all weekend you just spent trying to convince me to watch that. It was I can't. I'll never. Really, there's a difference between when they're doing it accidentally and they're just excited. That's not as hard for me to take. I thought when you explained it to me, I thought you were like he was being a dick to Adam Sandler.
No.
That is really hard for me to watch. When someone's intentionally being an asshole to someone who's like really famous, I think that's like that's the worst secondhand embarrassment as possible.
Well,
like,
when he was like, dude, you remember 1995? Like that show you did? Like, no, dude.
Wow, Florida State in 1996. Like, dude, you tell me what I did last week. I don't fucking know. You think I remember Florida State 25 years ago?
When you're Adam Sandler and you have like a million memories of shows and movies and all that shit. It was that lineup though that they pulled out. I don't know how much money they ended up raising, but that was, if you're into stand-up comics or whatever, I'm sure you can go watch the replay. The comedy laugh fade was just like fucking unbelievable. So yeah, there's nothing better than watching John do secondary embarrassment. It's just one day you're gonna die from it.
Well, God willing, yeah. Hopefully, right in the middle of like one I have to watch, and like, see, that's the message. Someone who forced me to watch a video has to live with the rest of their fucking lives.
Like right now, you have the capacity to like withstand it. But if you show that to John when he's like 60, he'll die. He'll fucking die on the spot.
I might kill myself during it. You know, he's be like, again, that's something. Enjoy that for the rest of your life. Enjoy knowing that you brought me to my death.
I'm going to kill you one day doing that. We got to talk about what we miss most in quarantine right now. And it ties in nicely with our folks over at Miller Lite. You know, just sitting down at the bar and cracking a cold one. It's one of the best things in life. It's as good as it gets. And
it is. And it's actually perfect that this follows Bert. Because when Bert was explaining it too, where it's just like, we just have a beer with somebody. It's me, my dad, and my brother just had a beer on the patio yesterday. Sat by a fire pit, had a beer, listened to some Bob Marley, and it's just like, this is beautiful. This is
the absolute best.
It was kind of like a bar, only there weren't strangers there, which is like, but the strangers are a huge part.
Well, so that's the thing. So I'm gonna make the argument for you right now. I've been enjoying just having a Miller Lite on Friday Night Pints, having a Miller Lite by myself. Having a Miller Lite on a live stream, I think is the best of both worlds. I'm getting my Miller Lite. I'm getting like my friend interaction, and I'm not dealing with the public. I'm not dealing with the strangers. I'm not dealing with the stuff that gives me social anxiety. I'm not out late. I'm already on my couch. I don't have to worry about it. I think this is the ideal time to be having your Miller Lite. And what I'm learning is that Miller Lite can transcend all that. I don't need to be at the party. I don't need to be at the bar. I don't need to be, out in the scenery is not really what matters. What I'm learning is that it's the company and the beer. If you give me a quality Miller Lite in any circumstances, I'm going to enjoy myself. If I could do it with my friends, great. If I do it with strangers around, also great. But the constant is the Miller Lite. And the best part is that it's only 96 calories. And it's only 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces. So no matter where you are, whether you are in public, whether you're at home, whether you're with people, with friends, with strangers, alone, doing it virtually, doing it in person, Miller Lite is the original light beer. And so go enjoy a classic, right? You can get it delivered right now. It's available on all the delivery apps. You don't have to touch anybody. You just get your beer dropped off right on your fucking front door, which is like, I mean, go back in time and tell me that there would be a time I could click a couple buttons on a remote and then beer would just appear on my front step, and I would have told you that I time traveled like fucking Back to the Future. So get your Miller Lite. It's Miller Brewing Company in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories, 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces. Enjoy a cold one. But you're really hurting without that bar, huh?
Dude, yes. I was thinking about it because Saturday I was Zooming, and first of all, it's shout out to just human ingenuity that we can just take something made for business and like it means drink now. Like,
Yeah.
like I'll get a text from buddies like, you want to Zoom?
You want Zoom?
And it's just like, yeah, let's have a drink. So it's amazing that just so quickly we can be like, oh yeah, that's about poisoning yourself now. But the Saturday night I Zoomed hard. We Zoomed till like 2-3 o'clock in the morning, and it was a blast. And I had fun, but it's not the same. Like I don't miss clubs. I don't miss parties. I miss a bar. A bar, it has that, like, you walk into like a dimly lit room where just like one wall is covered in alcohol, and your mind switches. You're like, I know what's happening here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I miss like a friend who texts you, be like, yo, you want to grab a beer? And for a second, like you pretend you might not. You're like, I don't know. There's just like the sense of camaraderie in a bar when you walk in there, like everyone's just like understood. There's just an unspoken kinship where we're like, look, dude, we're just gonna get drunk. We're probably not even gonna talk to each other, but like we know what we're doing here today.
There's no judgment. You're in the trust tree when you're in the bar, you know? And it's like you look around and it's like, why is that guy here? It's like, I don't know, why are you here? We're all fucking here, dude. So just shut up and drink and you know, forget about your problems. And I feel like I don't feel like I'm very good at many things, if anything at all. And I've always said I'm just like good at going to bars. I just know how to do it. And like even when we were like throwing parties for Barstool, it's one thing. Like I knew like the right places to pick and I know how to do that. But I mean, I'm just good at going there. I'm good at like talking to the bartenders and like knowing the scene. I'm just good at it's the only thing I'm good at is just going to a bar.
Yeah, it's so hard for like some people. I think it's also so easy to just be like, I miss talking to bartenders. Yeah, I miss kind of talking to a stranger about a game I don't give a shit about. Mm-hmm. There's like I miss playing darts.
Even that, knowing just enough, like I can talk to this guy real quick about the game or about whatever, and then I'm gonna stop because anymore he would be upset, he'd be annoyed. Like it's just like a second nature. I got a feel for these things, and I can't do it.
That's what there's so much feeling. You know what? Like one of the greatest feelings in the world is when you walk by a bar and on like a Saturday afternoon, you're like, I probably shouldn't go in there, and you're like, you know what? Let's throw this whole fucking weekend in the trash. Let's just do it.
I used to always say that. So I lived on Third and Park in Hoboken, and the path is at like lower, downtown Hoboken. So I only had to walk 3 fucking streets and a couple avenues. It was not a long walk, but even just doing that, I had to pass like a dozen bars, like 12 bars on the way home. And all of them were like whispering to me. Like I walk by and it would be like, hello, come in, come have one. Kevin, we miss you. And it was like, I would have to like put the blinders on and just get home if I didn't want to stop in and have one, and that turns to 2, and that turns to 4, and then you're fucking drunk. Because it's just, when you're good at something, you want to do it. It's like you put a basketball in LeBron's hands, he just knows what to do with it. You Goodwill Hunting, he looks at the fucking chalkboard, he gets this. It's fucking easy to me. You just like tell me that there's a pub right there with a bunch of beers on tap or whatever, and music playing and a couple games on. I can do that.
It's romanticism, but there's just like a sad happiness to bars. We're just like, I fit in here. I get it.
That's the other thing.
They've always been like community centers. That's what a public house is. Mm-hmm. And like, you don't have your sense of community anymore. You don't have you realize you missed the littlest. And I'm sure this is how like some people think about sports. Like, oh, I miss halftime shows. Like things I didn't think I cared about, things I didn't think were good. You know what I miss, which is so beautiful? I miss like the 3 a.m. goodbye on a street corner, where it's just like, it's dark out. There aren't many streets. And you're just like, well, I'll see you tomorrow. That was a blast. Yeah. And it's like a foggy goodbye. It's probably technically foggy. Also, your mind's a little foggy. And it's just like, it's just everything about a bar has this weird.
Dude, I miss, I want to feel sawdust on my feet in those pubs. I want to open up a bathroom door and go, oh my Jesus. What, did someone just piss on top of the toilet on purpose? Like, I miss going into a bar like, somebody already puked in here? I want it to smell bad. I want it to feel gross. I want all of that. That's what I miss. I miss the bad parts of bars, what I miss the most.
Yeah, those are the parts that they remind you what a bar is, the bad parts.
Yes. I was thinking about, like, because of Corona, and like learning about how you can be a very successful bar. If you don't get revenue for like 10 days, you're fucked. Right. Well, then what's wrong with this business? What's wrong with this industry? How is that the norm? How is it an industry where everybody says 80% of you will fail, and there is still an endless line of people who want to open bars?
I don't understand how you fail. I pay $12 for a beer regularly.
Yeah, right. These are like 1 penny, and you charge 1,000% markup. And I get like in New York, I don't understand how anybody survives in New York. It's like, oh, my rent is $35,000. Like before we talk about anything else, just to open the doors is $35 a month. But if you're like opening a little like watering hole, I guess it's all relative, but like a little pub somewhere in the middle of the country, those are hard to keep open. Could you imagine?
Let me tell you something. There's a significant chance that by the time this fucking quarantine ends, your boy owns a bar.
Yeah.
There's like a high chance.
We gotta own a bar one day, right? We gotta own a bar one day, right?
Yeah. I know. Like, I'm like, me and my friends have discussed it. Like, it's we have a bet for what day bars open up again, and whoever is closest gets to name the bar. I don't know if we're going to buy one, but like, it's not totally laughed off. There's like 6 of us. Right. Like, fuck it, let's just get a bar.
I mean, I almost bought into Saloon. Did you? They offered me. I mean, at the time, I was like, yes, this is like, how could this fail? And then they completely went out of business. So, I mean, I guess blessing in disguise, but I just like didn't have the money. I think I was saving for a ring at the time, and like I just didn't have it. Otherwise, I would have bought into that for sure. It's just something I feel like I'm going to do it. I'm going to fail at it, and I'm going to be happy. I'm going to check it off my bucket list. Yeah, like that's something I wanted to do.
Fun 6 months.
I have a friend whose dad owned a bar in Queens, and he's the one dad who's like, he's the funniest fucking guy. He's like parties with us. The type of guy who like grab a girl at a wedding and start dancing and twirling. Like he's just the life of the party. And he owned a bar in Queens, and he would do like the most ridiculous promo. You know, he's like the guy who like invented like the penny till somebody pees sort of shit. He would do a reverse cover where everybody gets $1 if you walk in the door. Just like dumb shit like that, just to get people to laugh like you just did and go like, yeah, all right, I'll go in there. Yeah, it's funny. You give me the cover instead. All the dumbest ideas just because it was like, well, if I don't, I'm going to fail in like 35 seconds. So I
don't like want to have I want to have a Patty's Pub. I want to have like 4 people who are there regularly. I don't know how like people it's just hemorrhaging money at all times, but that's the kind of bar I like to go to.
I want a bar with the rickety cricket. That's what I want. I want it to be as bad as possible. And I mean that was Tin Lizzy. That was pretty much every bar I've ever really loved have been the worst bars I've ever been to.
The only thing worse than the bar itself was how it was run. Like,
yes.
It's just absolute disaster.
I mean, the guys at Tin Lizzy, looking back on it, were probably 28, and I used to think of them as like, you know, adults. And they very openly were like, I just bought into this to get laid. That was it. That was the only reason.
Dude, I didn't know I went to Tin Lizzy was when I bartended there.
Yeah, you probably never actually saw it when it was like fun. You probably just saw it at its worst and its most empty. But
that was such a funny time where it was like in my head, because I'd like Barstool for so much. So for those people who don't know, when I was interning at Barstool 10 years ago now, I didn't get paid, or it was like Dave, like we ran out of money. Dave was like, I can't. I was getting $400 a month, I think, or something like that. And Dave was like, I can't afford to give you money anymore. And I was like, word, can I work?
Which, by the way, for the folks who don't understand, it was $400 a month. It was not like I can't afford to pay you your $50,000 salary. It was like I don't have $400 to break off for you right now.
And then Kevin felt bad about it, so Kevin like got Tin Lizzy to get me a guest bartending spot so I could get some cash. And in my head, I thought it was about to be like a Barstool party. Like I thought I was going to show up there. It was a random night. It was like a Tuesday night or Thursday night or something. It wasn't a big night. And I was like, it's going to be crazy there. Literally, the only people there were Kevin and his girlfriend. And Kevin gave me like, I forget. I've told the story of anywhere between $60 and $200. I don't know how much you put.
Yeah, it was a decent chunk because I remember being like, "Oh, see, I knew it wasn't gonna be a Barstool party, but I figured you might get a few dollars." I was like, "Oh, nobody's
literally no one there."
Yeah.
I think you lost money. You had 2 Bud Lights, and the thing is too, I had to buy all my clothes. I had to buy Black shoes, black jeans, and a black shirt.
Which, looking back, the fact that Tin Lizzy had like, you better wear black if you're bartending. Like, fuck off, Tin Lizzy. I will bartend butt ass naked with my asshole out. Fuck you.
I ended up losing money bartending.
And I love it. I'm like, if I could pick one bar to go back to, it would be Tin Lizzy. Let's get into our voicemails before Joe Coy and Cory Gregory. Voicemails today are brought to you by Stitch Fix. If you are out there, browsing online, trying to buy clothes, don't even bother. Just let the fucking pros do it for you. Let the stylist handle all the picking, all the choosing, all the matching, all of everything. Stitch Fix can take your personal preferences, put them all together, and get a monthly shipment sent to you that has everything from accessories to outerwear to clothing to shoes. Everything possible that you need, you can acquire over the months when you have a Stitch Fix subscription. As the season changes, as styles change, so does your box. Your stylist will keep you updated with all the freshest trends. Everything is fit to your liking based on a algorithm that sets up exactly what you like. When you click, you open it up and it says, do you like this? Yes, no, maybe. Would you wear this? Do you like this color? And it puts together everything that you would like, ships to you every single month. And there's no long-term commitments. Everything you can stop whenever you want. And shipping, returns, and exchanges are all easy and free. No long-term subscription. Go to stitchfix.com/KFC today, and you'll get 25% off everything in your first box when you keep the whole box. That's the other thing. If you like one item and you don't like the rest, you can send those back and just keep the one. If you don't like any items, you can send them all back. And if you like all of them, you keep them. And if you do that on your first box, you get 25% off. Save a quarter. Go to stitchfix.com/KFC now. Get those deliveries and get 25% off.
What's up, KFC Fights BC? So I got a hypothetical for you. Watching the end of season 1 of Succession, and it got me thinking, if you guys were guaranteed that you'd get a sum of money after covering up some sort of heinous crime, would you do it? Obviously, you don't have to see the crime. You don't have to know about it. All you have to do is just go ahead and cover it up, and you're going to be guaranteed that sum of money. Thanks, guys.
Well, I suppose it depends on what the crime is, right?
Yeah, well, probably not. Probably yes is the answer.
If I came to you,
anything short of a genocide, Kevin, I'm probably in.
I mean, you say that, but like, I'm in the middle of Ozark. I'm at the very end of Ozark season 3. And like, if you came to me right now with a cartel situation for money, I'm probably not doing it. Unless it's like,
wait, what do you mean? What cartel situation? Like, this is a cover up. They said I don't even have to know about it. I don't know how I cover up something I don't know about.
Well, that's what I mean, though. It's like, you're gonna have to be involved. Yeah, I mean, I guess if I can just keep my hands completely clean of this and all that shit. But I'm imagining the sum of money is because I'm risking something. And I'm not trying to get like my head chopped off, my fingers chopped, like you know what I mean?
Yeah, like what's how do I cover up something I don't know about? It's like, you didn't do that.
Yeah, this hypothetical needs a little bit more accountability here. You're covering up a crime. Now, if you ask me to do some white collar shit for a large sum of money, sure. You ask me to cover up, mass murders, rapes, anything with kids, I'm not doing it.
Yeah. But it is tough too, because it's I watched a film. I usually just have the TV on, and this morning on TV was Indecent Proposal, which I've never seen, and I was kind of just checking in here and there on it, and like I was watching, I was like, oh yeah, that would fuck me up.
Yeah, like
if I had $1 million, but I didn't know what my wife did with fucking what's his name, Robert Redford. I'd be like, you gotta tell me. She's like, no, we promised we never talk about this. Like, well, that was before we did it, and now I gotta know what the hell happened.
Now I need to fucking know. Yeah, I mean, it's all well and good until you really, when it's time to pay the piper, it's a whole different story. So
I think that shit would be mentally bad, like real bad. Like if it was just like, I got you out for, I don't know. It would have to be a violent crime. Non-violent crime, I'm in. Point blank.
I'll do it for free. Blush, whatever.
Non-violent crime. I won't cover up with. I'll help you do it. I will get my hands dirty on a non-violent crime.
Yeah.
But once the violence comes in, I think the sum of money's got to be really high.
Really high, because when it comes time to be like, all right, my life will forever be different after this moment. I will forever be hooked to this thing. You gotta have.
And you never get old. And especially for me, someone with an anxiety, with like, I mean, everyone has anxiety, but I at least say it sometimes. And like, I have anxiety. That I'm gonna get caught having done things in my past right now. I haven't even done them yet.
Yeah.
I don't have anything. And
Right.
I'm still every day like, oh boy, is today the day I get canceled for something I did 10 years ago? I didn't do anything 10 years ago. So if I actually had something I did, oh boy, that would be.
Yeah, that shit way on you, man. But everyone does have a price. You offer me some insane amount of money where I crunch some numbers and I'm like, all right, there's a fucking 1% chance I get caught on this thing or whatever. And I get $100 million. Okay. But I think anything where the bad guys on the other end are really bad. I'm not doing cartels. I'm not doing gangs. I'm not doing like the government, like crazy government shit. But if it's like a one-off, if it's like, I don't know, this one person will be mad at you, this one thing, then we can negotiate.
Yeah, I have enough money to kill that one person who's angry at me. So fuck it.
Well, that's really the thing, and that's what I'm learning from Ozark in season 3. You gotta go all in. You can't be like, I do this, but I do it for my family. It's like, if you're going to be a criminal, you got to be a criminal, man, because you can't play both sides of it. Have you did you watch season 3 at all?
No, like I said, I've been doing High Fidelity.
I fucking love it. I think it's awesome. I know it's a knockoff Breaking Bad, but I think it's like a high level knockoff. There's a couple like characters and a couple plot points that I think are like kind of glaring holes, but other than that, I think it's highly entertaining.
I'm gonna start it after High Fidelity, but I'm madly in love right now. So dude, if you could pick like a perfect woman for me, it's this character. It's just like she's so like cool.
Get your records. She can get your records.
She does records, but she's just so cool. She dresses so cool. She's got like they're actually I wasn't sure. I looked them up. They are all her real tattoos. She's got like cool tattoos, dresses weird and cool. She's wearing just like a Dickies t-shirt and a skirt and like army boots one day. Looks awesome.
Kravitz, man. I mean, I know you're talking about the character too, but Zoe is fucking.
I imagine she's just being Zoe Kravitz, and it is
totally herself. I've heard very good things. We interviewed Jake Lacey about that. I know Bob Fox watched it. I have not heard a bad thing yet about High Fidelity. So
I tweeted about it that I liked it, and someone replied, the nicest tweet I've ever gotten. Someone was like, "I could see you, like I think I could see you dating like Zoe Kravitz's chick." And I was like, "That's."
Well, but the question is, could you see her dating him?
I think it actually said marrying. It's like, I could see you marrying. Like, yeah, I could.
Or yeah,
straight up in love with her.
I could see me fucking marrying Emily Ratajkowski too. The problem is it's a one-way street.
So what was it? I forgot what I was just gonna say. Oh yeah, I was talking to someone about it, and they were like, "Oh, I love Zoe Kravitz's husband," and I was like, "She's not married," and I forgot her mom is now married to Jason Momoa.
What?
So it's Lisa Bonet, and Lisa Bonet was married to Lenny Kravitz, had Zoe. They got divorced. Now she's married to Jason Momoa.
Wow.
Yeah.
When you can tame Lenny Kravitz and then tame Jason Momoa, you're a bad bitch. I don't know what her deal is. I don't know what kind of witchcraft she has, but that is not to be trifled with.
Dude, Jason Momoa, like, motherfucker's got like a scar on his face from a bar fight. Like, Lenny Kravitz is Lenny Kravitz, and then Jason Momoa was a madman too. He was like a focal point. I didn't know he was famous in the 90s, but remember that article I talked about, or maybe early 2000s, where it was like talking about how social media killed LA nightlife. He was like a big part of that.
From what?
I don't even know.
Yeah, I didn't know.
There were pictures of him in the article. Like, it was.
I just thought he was Khal Drogo and Aquaman. I didn't know he did anything else.
I'm gonna Google it real quick. Give me 2 seconds.
Yeah,
he had like a goofy picture.
He's the male Pam Anderson, Yasmin Bleeth. Like, he's perfect. He was in Baywatch the movie or Baywatch the show, Nick?
Baywatch the show.
Yeah, that's OG shit. What a sexy little piece of meat that man is. Next up, what do we got?
Hey, Kevin Fights. It's the murder comer from about a year ago. I have a question to pose you guys. I don't know if you've done it or not, but my buddy and I were talking. We're all quarantined. I'm at my own place. He's at his. He was real proud of himself because he got laid recently. And I told him, well, I got laid 5 times. He said, how is that possible? Because you're alone, don't have a girl. So, well, I think that 10 jerk-offs equals 1 sex session. Is that accurate? What number would you guys put on it?
This is the stupidest we've ever heard.
Excuse me?
This
I
fella.
got like a De Niro face going right now. I'm like, excuse me?
What are you talking about?
On my fucking show's voicemails.
I mean, we have a certain level of expectation here on this program. And trying to tell me that if you jerk off 10 times, you can go bragging to your buddies that you had sex once?
Guess what? I lost my virginity the day I learned how to masturbate.
Guess what? I had sex with like 50,000 women. Get out of here. I'm Wilt Chamberlain if you apply this fucking logic. This is the stupidest shit I've ever heard.
I mean, this is crazy. Like,
And the answer here is like there's no amount of jerk-offs that equate to having sex with a girl, whether you're talking about like, you know, macho notches on your belt or just physical activity or whatever your measurement is here, it's 0. But if it were to be a number, it's much higher than 10.
yeah.
Like it would have to be like 5,000. If you jerk off 5,000 times, I'll let you add 1 to your body count, maybe.
I'm trying to think of like, and that like, how many cups of water would you say it takes to say you had a beer?
It just doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense. Yes, they both hydrate you, but in very different ways.
It would be like,
good for you, John. Nice job.
It's like you could just like add to your salary somehow. It's like, oh yeah, no, I make $200,000 a year because I do this sometimes. No, you are what you are. You have sex with who you have sex with. You can't just make up your own little fucking what's it called, like conversion metric. Get lost.
No, there's like I can't think of how anyone you sometimes you just meet people and you're like, I don't understand how your brain functions like that.
Yeah.
And I just don't understand how it works that you think that jerking off could in any way equate to having sex with another human person.
Anyway, last voicemail before we get to our interviews. What we got?
Yeah, B5 super producer BC. I got a would you rather, I guess. So would you rather have Spider-Man superpowers so you can shoot the webs, climb, jump, run really fast, all that, but you can't come ever? That means sex and jerking off. Or would you rather basically have that life you have now? You can come whenever you want, which I think is kind of its own superpower, but you don't get all the spidey webs and being able to run really fast and jump on buildings. For me, I'm choosing coming. Yep. Hi, Viva boys.
I do like the notion that like in that Louis C.K. special, he talks about like getting up to the gates of heaven and kind of having a face to, or he actually talks about God coming down and talking for a change rather than just letting us humans sit there and wonder what's right and what's wrong. And he gives out all the info about what you should and shouldn't be doing. And I won't spoil it, but there's like a very funny thing that we've all been doing wrong all the time. And I feel like if God ever came down, he'd be like, do you know how ungrateful you are? Like I made you guys just able to come all the time. Like within like 60 seconds, you could just give yourself orgasmic pleasure and you guys just take it for fucking granted. It is kind of a superpower when you think about it.
Yeah, it's a superpower. It's not nearly as good as running and jumping and shooting webs, though.
I mean, like literally comparing, you're right. But what are you gonna do with that?
Get people jealous. That's how I get off, is by getting people jealous and making sure that people, when girls see me slinging around the Empire State Building thinking, God, what a lucky girl gets to go home with him every night. I go, there's no girl because this fucking thing doesn't work. But they don't know that. It's like what's happening in quarantine now. We were talking about last episode. It's like what's happening in quarantine now, where the power of the penis is coming back.
Yeah.
They're realizing that something that goes in the dishwasher that doesn't give you this. Well, guess what? If you can't have it, guess who wants it? And that's I'm the most desirable man in the world, and I just go home every night and just sit on my couch. That's all I want. I just want to be wanted. I don't want to be in a relationship where you want me. I just want to be wanted. That's really what I like. I just want to be wanted. And
are you keeping up with therapy, John?
No.
I can tell.
Yeah, that's hard because I was talking to Keith about that, where it's just like I'm barely comfortable enough in a room yet. Like I was, and this is probably something to tell my therapist. I was caught once when I was in high school on the phone talking about a party, and like my mom was like right outside the door and heard everything. I got grounded and all that stuff.
Now you're not trusted.
I only talk when I know I'm being recorded. Like, I just assume I'm being recorded all the times. I only talk when I know for a fact I'm being recorded.
Smart.
And so I can't do it. I wouldn't be able to do a therapy session on a
No, I hear that, but you're a crazy person. I feel like not coming doesn't mean. I mean, I feel like if I could be Spider-Man and take home the prettiest, sexiest, happiest, coolest girl and all that shit, and just I don't come, but I guess we could do some shit. Right?
Yeah, I could make you have fun for sure.
I'll make you come, and I'll be rich and be like famous because I'm a superhero, and I just can't like toss it out there.
Dude, whenever if I was like, oh, I got to get something out of my system, I'll go jump out of a fucking building. Like,
right.
Well, don't worry about that.
That's always that is kind of my X factor though. Whenever we do these hypotheticals and it's like I can't come, I'm assuming that because my body is able to come, when I don't come, I go crazy. If I can't come, I'm assuming that I'm going to stay sane.
Yeah.
Because it's like I don't even know because I can't come.
Can't finish. Doesn't matter.
So in that case, if I know I'm not going to go crazy and I can have that poison build up all I want and I can be I'm going Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Let's get into our interviews. We got a very interesting and fun change of pace for the KFC Radio boys. We got Cory G on the show, Cory Gregory, who is a fitness freak, ex-coal miner, now turned personal trainer, entrepreneur, investor, who is just shredded as fuck and hopped on with us to talk about staying healthy, staying mentally, physically, and everything else in shape during the quarantine. And just
my brother was in the room for the interview, and as soon as he got up, he was like, "That was awesome. I'm going to work out now."
Right. Listen, I was motivated. All right. I'm thinking about working out. That's how fucking good this interview was. So when you do listen to Cory and you do want to get down with his fitness program, the next step is to make sure that you keep your body nice and smooth and trim and manscape that shit. Because if you got abs and muscles, you don't want some big bush getting in the way of all those good looks. So make sure that you get the new Lawnmower 3.0 from the Perfect Package 3.0, which means it's got the new trimmer that is nick-proof. It's got the ball preserver, the crop preserver, the ball deodorant. And did you know that April is Testicular Cancer Awareness Month? So this month it's all about your nuts. Make sure you squeeze your balls. Make sure you get tested. Make sure you get not tested.
I didn't play with it. Almost went off for a second there. Came close to catching a live one mid ad read.
I said check yourself, not fucking pleasure yourself. Just give it a little once over. Not up and forth, not back and forth, up and down.
Before you finish this ad read right now.
So Manscaped has partnered with the Testicular Cancer Society to spread awareness for men's health and early cancer detection. So we save balls. So check your sack, clean them up if you're down there doing some trimming. Why don't you do a little investigation? Make sure everything looks normal, seems normal size. Make sure nothing feels tender or any pain. You're gonna be playing with your balls anyway. You're gonna be sitting on the couch feeling your balls. You might as well take note of what you're feeling. And so go to manscaped.com, use the promo code KFC, get 20% off plus free shipping, and make sure you get the right tools to get the job done. For the testicular cancer screening, go to manscaped.com/KFC we-save-balls and share their educational video to help save lives. And you can use the promo code KFC over there as well. So manscaped.com, promo code KFC, manscaped.com/we-save-balls. And make sure you save yourself and other people's lives. Let's talk to Cory G. Look at this whole setup you got here. You got it all, man. What's on the wall back there? We got the Masters shit. We got you with your shirt off like an asshole. What else?
Yeah. We got Masters flag signed by Tiger.
Oh,
my favorite Italian pizza spot with one of my homeboys on this side right here. Got Pac and Pac and Snoop, America's Most Wanted. You already know that. Couple covers up there like a dick. And then
if you take a look at just that, like you know Cory, you get it. You take the whole picture right there.
So this has got like it's kind of a wall of inspiration. Like even see on this side, let me go this way. This is like a thing my wife made me for my first business like 20 years ago.
Cool.
Like things like that. So this is where I do my daily fires at. And when I'm doing, some stuff for my podcast at Business and Biceps, it inspires me. So
how many, I feel like you're a good person to have on right now. Cause I think we're like Kevin's drinking a beer right now. It's
hey, I'm mad at you, bro.
We were saying at the start of the episode how we feel like it's getting to the point of quarantine where it's like, all right, we're in this for the long haul, and you got to have kind of a routine. And I think I've been a Cory Gregory fan for like, I would guess 8 years, probably something like that. Dude, when I used to work out, I used to like all my only Twitter favorites were just like when you were tweeting out like daily workouts and shit like that. Like, all right, I'll do this tonight. So I've been on here for a while. I've lost my way.
Okay.
I've never found my way. I've been lost the whole fucking time. So we need help, and I would imagine a lot of people need help right now. I mean, in general, it's funny I'm thinking about how many people I'm seeing who are like, oh, can't even go to the gym, bro. And I'm like, you've let that subscription, you let that membership go completely unused forever. 1,000 months in a row. But now that you can't go, you're freaking out about it. So whether or not it's legit or otherwise, people are probably starting to bug out. So I would imagine this is your time to really shine, right?
Oh, yeah. Here's what it comes down to is I've been preaching forcing the schedule because, look, if you drink a beer on Monday and that's normal, I'm cool with that. But if you're doing that 7 days in a row and you're not training and you're not really going to work and you're really not seeing people, it becomes like a depression rabbit hole that people have a hard time getting up out of. And so what I'm trying to do is just be that source of like, yo, I used to go train at 4 a.m. That's my norm. I can't go to a gym I opened 20 years ago. Like I've been there 5 days a week since I was 20 years old. I'm 41. Like this is me.
You're 41?
Yeah, I'm 41.
No, you look like 26.
Let's fucking get it, boy.
You do not look 41.
I got a freshman in high school, man. I got 3 kids. You know what I'm saying?
You look like you could be a freshman in high school.
Man, I appreciate that. But like, so this morning, man, I'm, the first week that I was quarantined, even from my video guys, even from the people I work with in my businesses, like I ain't seeing nobody. So I'm cutting up my own videos. I'm doing my own shit. And my first week, I was like, I have Guinness on tap and I got Blue Moon on tap in my basement, right? Straight up. So I like to drink a fucking pint or 5 too. And so, but on a Monday, I'm like, that's not my norm. And I was like Tuesday drinking a beer, getting up at 7, thinking, well, what the fuck day is it again? And then the next week I was like, all right, you got to get the shit together, force the schedule Monday through Friday again, do something different. You can't go to the gym. And I have like an outdoor workout area. So if I'm going to work out, at least I'm going to do it somewhere where I want to. That's like my second favorite place, but I can't do it till the light's out, till the sun comes up. Well, shit, I got the fucking shop light out today. I was up in this motherfucker at 4 a.m. with the fucking shop light, hearing the coyotes howl, trying to get my shit back together today.
I gotta ask, why? Why do you gotta do it at 4 a.m.?
Yeah, what? That's extreme. You're doing that on purpose. I'm
an extreme motherfucker though. But see, I always say like this. Because it was a necessity, because I run multiple businesses and I'm a dad, like no one's fucking bugging me from 4 to 6 in the morning. So that can be someone else's 7 to 9. It just happens to be my 4 to 6. And I got a crew of about 20 people that normally train from 4 to 6. The 4 a.m. crew, it's a bunch of fucking savages that come in. It weeds out all the idiots. Cause if you ain't about your fucking business, you ain't fucking with me. Straight up.
Yeah, no, listen, nobody's coming in at 4 being like, maybe this is for me.
Yeah.
Let me figure it out. Let me dip my toe in the 4 a.m. water. No,
Hey,
no.
fucking ready for it, boy.
Yeah.
So what I try to do is look, this is my job. I've done this my whole life, and I know I'm going to be extreme fucking crazy motherfucker. But if you can draw just a little bit of my, kind of push I still got going on to try to keep some type of normalcy, because we're going to be in this for a minute. Y'all, I think we all know it, right? And yeah, you can have some 20-pound dumbbells and fucking for 2-3 days, you might get it together. But, you need somebody that actually knows what the fuck they're doing to keep it fun, different, and keep it changed up. So I think that my skill set's been lending, in a heavy way right now.
I was looking at your skill set at it almost feels like looking at you put together a workout is what I imagine watching Taylor Swift put together an album where it's like
she is a boss. So
and it's like I was like looking at it this morning. You texted me and you're like, "Oh, are we still on?" And as you were texting me, I was looking at the website and I was going to do chest today, and I was like, who does he like? I can't do this, man. I can't. It was like you had like AMRAPs for like 15 minutes. There were 5 second like declines. It seemed impossible to do.
Yeah, what I try to do is I look at, the basic shit. Like I could still go to my gym, you know what I mean? Because I own it, so I can still go, but I force myself to be in the area that everyone else is in. So everybody's looking at these dumbbells and they know how to do the basics, but it all comes down to angles, tempos, differences, and changing just these little basics and know how to flip the script every day. So people are like straight up, I'm getting people better results right now than they were getting in the gym. They just didn't fuck with me yet. Now they got no choice because they're stuck in their fucking house and they're like, hit me. He's like, I remember 8 years ago, my workouts were awesome. I'm gonna fuck with this guy again. And honestly, this is why Big Cat started fucking with me, because he tweeted out, yo, I want a diet where I can eat ice cream. And all my members started tagging Big Cat. And he saw that you followed me. And he was like, all right, well, some of the OGs are already fucking with this guy. So he hit me up and I've helped him lose about 40 pounds, which has been pretty awesome. He looks great. Yeah, I was texting him right before to make sure he got his shit done before I jumped on here.
Yeah, I feel like it's like once you say that you're publicly down with Cory, he's not gonna let you fucking fall off because that's for him. So I'm almost nervous to even try because it's like once I want to fall off, I want to fucking fall off. All right.
The accountability is what, and right now because you're not interacting, right? That's so tricky. Like even accountability for me, I would go and I got a bunch of young dudes that we train with. They kick my ass all the fucking time. I'm one of the older cats, and like not having that push. See, I still got that locker room. I still got practice in the morning. I still got competition. I still got that high school, college vibe to me. So it keeps me alive. Boy, I get up at fucking 4. I'm ready to fucking go get it. Right. And, not having that's weird for me. It's been 20 years, literally. And so you got to find a way to replace that, but forcing the schedule and not going down the rabbit hole that makes you feel shittier about what already is a shitty situation, I think is important right now. Listen, we do a lot of this on my podcast, Business and Biceps. Like we're always trying to push that. It's straight down the middle and it's legit, but there's some work involved, but it'll make you feel better for sure.
The locker room thing you mentioned is true. Because like I haven't been in the locker room in like probably 15 years. And I thought it didn't really matter. I thought, who cares? And then we recently had the Barstool Pond Hockey Tournament where it was like, it was just fucking around. We were just having fun, but it was still just that little out competition. And I was like, oh shit, this is like, I missed this. This is fun. Like competing with somebody.
You guys, but arguably you guys have a locker room at the corporate office. I've been there once.
Our whole existence is a locker room.
Your vibe is, and I came there that one time and met you guys when I was with Dan, and you guys 100% got that. And a lot of people, every guy I ever talked to that played in any league has always said, it's not, they're old and they're done. They're like, but I miss the guys. Right. I miss the girls. I miss the locker room. So y'all still have that, in business, which is, it doesn't happen very often anymore, especially the vibe y'all got.
I got a question for you where you're very publicly and proudly, as you should be, drug free, right? Never. Yes. I see the trolls will kind of accuse you of it here and there. Yeah. Why?
Yeah,
what are you, a fucking moron? Do you know how cool? You know how fun it is?
Yeah, no. So listen, steroid free, right? Okay. So in my industry, here's the problem, right? All the guys I looked up to, you find out Stallone took steroids, and in the 70s is kind of a little different ball game because it really wasn't even Arnold and all those guys back then. But you start to grow up, and I've worked with a lot of these guys over time. and you see people that you know are taking drugs, but then there's a 17 or 18-year-old kid that's following them and thinking, I can get that result. I just never wanted to be, that's just a personal preference. I have lots of friends that are in the industry that I know take drugs, and they're honest about it. Right. If you tell a motherfucker, this is the workout I do, this is how old I am, this is how I eat, and I take this, I'm cool. It's the motherfuckers that come at me, my program works better, I'm stronger or bigger than this guy. But they're not telling you the fucking sneaky thing on the side that's like the dirty secret. Well, I've just chose for these 20 years, it's the long game. I built a body I'm proud of. I'm not that big of a dude. I weigh 185, but I can fucking hold my own. And on strength and on the look, I believe from a symmetry standpoint, and I've always been kind of holding this drug-free torch to let motherfuckers know they can attain it.
So where do we fall on HGH? Is this really can I do HGH?
Same. I mean, well, here's the thing. You could, because you're not competing again a drug-free. It's the guys that are competing in saying that they're not, or they're putting programs out and saying you can get these type of results when really you can't because of GH or testosterone. Once again, there's guys in the industry that are just honest about it. I got no problem. I have friends I've learned so much off of that have taken drugs.
And that's safe, or you're just like,
I never fuck with it. I don't know. That's the thing.
Like, but I mean, like, I know like an anabolic fucking steroid needle in your ass has some very bad consequences. Are there things that are gonna like that could? I'm not gonna compete. I don't care, but I just want to get in shape.
Kevin really wants to take HGH.
I really want to take HGH.
Kevin, listen, there's
so here's my deal. I'm the furthest thing from trying to compete. Yeah. I've had 6 surgeries. I've been out of shape for fucking 20 years now. All I want to do is just like not be a bag of milk. A bag of mashed potatoes, and I just want to like not hurt. But I'm also lazy. I'm also not like I don't have the same. I don't get off on it. I'm not like that workout felt so good.
Pump was awesome.
So, that's just not my style. So if you told me that I could just do an HGH or a this or that, and it's like gonna like jumpstart my shit, but I'm also not gonna be like killing my organs or something like that, I would probably do it.
I think that's where the they call it anti-aging. That's when you go to those kind of doctors and they give you small doses and they monitor it. That's a whole different ball game from like kind of my industry, I guess, peers that I'm essentially in business up against, right? So I look at it like we're all fucking battling against each other for business out here and for my methodology over their methodology. And it's hard to prove it. That's why I've been so upfront about not taking drugs. I want guys to know, like, man, I could fucking look like this dude or be as strong as this guy if I just put the work in. Because I've come up with hacks that definitely, make the process better. But all in all, I'm a former coal miner, bro. Like, I'm a fucking grinder. I've always been.
When I saw that's in your Twitter bio, obviously. 7th generation.
Yeah, 4th generation. So my great grandfather, which I got tatted on my arm, he died in 1936 in a coal mine explosion. His dad is the one that taught me how to lift weights. He's 92 years old now. My father was a coal miner. All my uncles. I only had to work 6 months underground. So I worked 600 feet underground when I was 19, going on 20, saved 20 grand and moved to Columbus to start my gym. So it was a humbling experience, but I'm so glad I went through it because I knew it was going to be an intangible difference for me. Like, motherfuckers, I'm the real motherfucking Zoolander, boy. Like, I
got the black lung.
Exactly.
Do you catch any heat for being like the pretty boy in the gym and the coal miners back home making fun of you?
Yeah. Oh yeah. So here, you'll love this. So first day at the coal mine, right? First off, I had 2 earrings back then. This is like 97, 98, right? So I get on the elevator and it's like, it's 600 feet down. So I get on the elevator and I hear this, boy, what you got in your ears and what do you want to be when you fucking grow up? And I'm like, oh, fuck. And I go, what? Oh, sir, I want to be a personal trainer. He goes, oh, you want to be like fucking Richard Simmons? So that's what the coal miners thought I was aspiring to do. But
I would imagine coal miners don't respect anything other than coal mining. Like everything other than that is pussy. You know what I mean? I want to go fight wars. Well, whatever. You're not coal mining, pussy.
I'll tell you what, it's a mentality that I'm so glad I got to experience, and it was in my blood. And I could have not easily, but I could have saw myself doing it a lifetime because it was so in the culture of how I grew up. But they wanted me to leave. They knew I had aspirations, and they're always cheering me, man, because I'm always showing love because of where I came from. And I respect that job. I worked it. And if I ever had to do it again, I know I could, but it was a great experience, man.
How many businesses have you started now? I think you said you started this by saying 20.
Yeah, so I started my personal training business when I was 20 years old. So I opened up my personal training studio for $5,000, and $1,750 of that went to rent for 3 months. People was bringing me equipment. It was a 900 square foot little personal training studio. Before I celebrated my 21st birthday being a business owner for 5G, and I've built my businesses. So I did that for 10 years. See, a lot of people see kind of what I got going on now, but for 10 years I grinded a personal training business. Then in 2008, I was the co-founder of Muscle Farm. Right. And Muscle Farm was a supplement company that exploded. We were main sponsor in the UFC. I sponsored Tiger Woods. I worked with Arnold Schwarzenegger. I mean, the list goes on. And we was the Nike of the supplement industry. And about 2015, it had just got so big. And I'm kind of like an OG kind of grimy dude. Like it just meetings about meetings. That's not really me. I was just like not really fond of the people I was working with no more from like a value standpoint. I was like, man, fuck it. I'm out. You know, I sold my part and I wanted to start. I started my website. We started a podcast. John Fosco and I started Max Effort Muscle, which is a new supplement business. Started Cory G Fitness. We started business in biceps. Old school gym was still rocking. I got a CBD company, CBD Social, with 2 other guys, John Fosco, down in Charleston, South Carolina. So, you know, I'm just a serial entrepreneur. That's product and fitness. You know, so I'm all over the place.
MP, I was very surprised because I think it was shortly after, like, I think it was on Tiger's bag and stuff. But you're basically just Tom Brady. You're like, I've proven everything I have here. I'm gonna go take this upstart franchise and start a new one.
I just, you know, what was cool is, so John Fosco, who I work with, he did all of the marketing inside the UFC for us. So we were spending $1 million a year in the cage. Plus I had all the major athletes and he was running all that with me. So once we both sold our percentages, we were both kind of like free agents and we're like, let's get on. Let's start business in biceps. Let's start Max Effort Muscle. I already owned the gym with my high school friend, Dustin Myers. And we just keep on rolling with these. And then CBD had a great opportunity. We started a retail front down there. And the website's my bread and butter, man. Cory G Fitness, I get to interact with so many people and help them get results. I give a Rolex away once a year for like a transformation. Like I just do, honestly, I'm a fucking brat at this point. If I'm not into it, I'll work my ass off. But if I'm not having fun, I'm fucking out, boy. Like I just am. And that's what the entrepreneur kind of life is. But it's a fucking 20-year game plus.
Let me ask you a question. We do our answer the internet hypotheticals all the time.
Sure. Of course.
Everybody's got a number.
Yep.
What would be your number for you to just be an out of shape bag of shit?
Could I still golf?
Yeah. You can still do things. There are plenty of fat guys who golf.
Yeah.
You're not gonna be like the chiseled. You ain't on the cover. You're fucking
yeah.
There, and I think you could probably. I mean, I'm sure people want their personal trainer to look like a certain. You could probably still teach them, but you don't have the look anymore. You don't have the body anymore. What's the number?
Damn, that's a great question. I haven't.
And you could make all your entrepreneurial dreams come true. You could be doing all the businesses you want, but you're fat.
It probably had to be 100 mil. Listen, there's something about having abs, boy. I don't know. It's worth a lot of money. And I ain't starving, so shit.
No, it really is, though. I mean,
We just asked Cory, how much money would it cost to be me? And he said, $100 million.
Hey, I'm being real. That's probably right.
Could you imagine if I said, dude, you got to trade places with me. Here's $75 million. And he was like, nah, 25 more. But it is valuable. I've thought all the time when I see someone who's just shredded, I'm just like, and for you, it's, you know, like you say, you've been doing this for 20 years and probably before that, you always made sure you're in shape. So, you know, maintaining being in shape is so much easier than getting in shape, right? So like you're there and you're never going to let it go. And I'm just so fucking jealous of that, where it's just like, wait a minute, you look and feel like that all the time?
I let it go once. I weighed 240.
Wow.
And I walk around a pretty lean, like between 180 and 190.
How tall are you?
5'11".
Okay.
And so I weighed 240 in like 2010. And that's when I was heavy building the business. Social media really wasn't super popping yet. And I was just so fucking stressed out because that business was growing. I was just eating and I thought, I'm a power lifter right now. Like I'm just going to eat. And so check this out, right? So not only am I getting like fucking tricep cramps, so I'm trying to get it in. I'm also fucking like my wife says to me, right? She's like this. She's like, I think, is that cellulite on your abs? I'm not really sure. Like, I'm being supportive, but I'm not sure if I signed up for that guy.
That'll motivate you real quick.
Like, and she's been awesome. But if I would say that shit to her, I'd get fucking kicked out. Right?
Yeah, no, you're done.
But I was checked though, and I was like, you know what? I was like, it's time for me to get my shit together. And probably since then, I've made it up to, I did a powerlifting meet at like 212 most recently, maybe like a year and a half ago. I've been staying under 190s about then, just because at the end of the day, you're your best billboard. I mean, from a business standpoint and health as well. See, that's the thing. Like right now, especially, right? That's why I try to talk about, if you're not taking care of yourself, the way we fight this shit is our immune system. Like, and you're not even guaranteed because it's not even like picking a certain thing at this point. There's people that having problems. So like, you got to have your shit together. So look, listen, I'm telling you, I drink beer every Friday and Saturday. I fucking eat wings. I eat tacos. I try to have a lifestyle, right? Mm-hmm. But take care of yourself, because that's how you fight this shit. That is how you fight it. That's it.
That's all very true. But I'm still dealing with the sobering moment where you said I got cramps having sex. Like that, yeah, dude, that's what sex is.
Yeah, like sex is, it cramps up. You get really out of breath, and then it feels good for a second.
Yeah, and then it's like,
telling me there's a way to have sex where you don't get cramps.
I don't know. High rep triceps and a lot leaner physique. It pays off bigger.
I
have a question, and this is gonna sound weird.
Mm-hmm.
Are you ever embarrassed to take your shirt off? Like, are you just like, I'm too much shape? Like, it's like, where you said you have kids, right? Like some of the other dads are over. Maybe I'll throw a shirt on so they don't feel so bad about it.
So two things. One, I had a little TikTok move for a second, and my kids were not fucking feeling that at all. Because look, my second or third video I ever did went viral, like 700,000 views, and I'm dancing in my fucking kitchen, and it's on all of their friends' For You pages. Yeah. All of them, right? Especially the freshman. He's like, Dad. I'm like, look, man, I'm sorry. Like, I didn't, you know what I'm saying? The second one, I went to a water park with my family one time. And I remember specifically, I was 1 week out of a bodybuilding show, and I was fucking peeled. And I got mean mugged by every fucking dad that's sitting there that has a barbed wire arm tattoo and that's fucking drinking beer and was so fucking mad. I wore a long sleeve t-shirt in the fucking pool because I was getting like death threats, bro. And I wasn't even I'm not even trying to be a dick. I was literally a week out. So, I mean, look, first world problems, whatever. But
there are times I think I see a guy with his shirt off and I feel bad for him. So I'm like, my initial reaction is,
fuck this guy. Fuck you.
I just read an article yesterday, or not an article, but a quote from it. Zac Efron said when he was doing Baywatch, he was like, I never, ever want to be that. Like, I think the word they were using was buff. He's like, I never want to be buff like that again. And I think he just said like the schedule and just the like it consumes your life. And I mean, he was a freak of fucking nature in that one.
He was super fucking mean. I think under like 7% ish. Like those guys, Zach was like between like 5 and 7. That's tricky. You got to be really like, I just try to stay, I don't have to really test it, but if I can just see my abs and I'm under 10% and I can still live life, to me, it's about a lifestyle at this point. I compete here and there, but at the end of the day, it's like, how can I still be a dad who drinks beer? That's where I get a lot of mean mugs too. When I'm around people that don't really know me, they're over the house for like the pool party or some shit, which obviously we can't do right now, and I'm fucking getting it. 7 tacos, bonging beers, and they're like,
fuck. So listen, I feel like what's in vogue right now from Rob McElhaney, Kumail Nanjiani, all these guys who got shredded for their movie roles, they're being very honest, but I think the pendulum swung the other way where they're like, the only way you can do this is be rich, have a trainer, have a chef, a nutritionist, and it makes people. I was like, "Wow, fuck it, I can't even do this." Then, you know?
True.
And I know you're probably talking about, like you said, 2% body fat or whatever. But it's almost dangerous because it makes you go like, "Well, I can't possibly do that," and it's like that's not true either.
Well, I went down to 165 one time and I could see like my side of my glutes coming in. I was that lean and it just, I mean, you're like a fucking space cadet. It's just not worth it. I mean, at the end of the day, like you can find what I call your float weight. it's like you're fucking fighting weight, right? So like when I'm like 180 to 190, if I'm floating closer to 80, then I'm going to be hurting motherfuckers' feelings. If I'm closer to 90, oh, all right, so I think you got to find out what's and once again, it's a little bit of discipline. You have like about a 10-pound float. You kind of know how to operate. And that's really what I teach, man, is just this lifestyle. And I can make people look better than they do now, not be as bored in the gym and enjoy themselves. If most guys can be like, all right, if I can make it to the weekend, I know I get to eat wings and drink beer, I'm good. Most dudes can do that most of the time. This is a little different scenario, but I kind of brainwash them to get to that point.
Yeah, you see that light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah, of course. Because at the end of the day, they just need to know that there's something there. Most guys that are, especially ex-athletes or whatever, they can be disciplined enough to get to there, because at the end of the day, if I can trick you into eating good 85% of the time, we're going to win.
It really is. You just said trick and you just said brainwash.
Yeah.
It's kind of true. I mean,
that's what has to happen.
Yeah. I mean, it's like a negative connotation, but you got to I feel like I need to be deprogrammed. It's like Jason Bourne. You got to torture me and break me down and build me back up to think that this shit is fun, because I fucking hate it.
Here, what's so crazy, Kevin, is when it becomes fun when you got a handle on it. See, it's just like any other education. People do this as a hobby, right? This ain't my fucking hobby. This is what I do. I eat it. I breathe it. I fucking read it. This is me. I couldn't this was 1970, I'd just be a poor fucking dude in Venice, on the side of the street. I just do this. I can't, it's unapologetic. So I think once people understand, all right, this is the right carbs I can eat sweet potatoes over rice, or you're like your own science project. Right. But once you know it, you always know it. I can't ever unknow what I know I should be eating. I just don't think people ever go down the rabbit hole enough to actually figure it out. But I'd challenge them, once you do figure it out, which is what Dan's doing right now, what Big Cat's doing, he knows. He knows that's how he lost 40. That's how he's been able to maintain it for the most part. And he knows even when he falls off, it's not as bad. And so it's like, once you understand that strategy, I always just say, motherfucker, strategy's just fucked up. I think your strategy just ain't good, but we can fix that.
What's that first step there? I think it's because everything you just said is to me, that's I almost would need you to study me and watch me and learn. And then, but if I'm not, if you're not monitoring me 24/7, what's the first step of learning that?
So for me, the way that my business works is I'll go and people will come into kind of my process. Like I had Feidelberg on the website, and I'll hook you up too. On the app, it's they'll come through and they'll watch. I teach it boardroom style or a whiteboard style. I'll teach all the way that I do the diets, all that kind of stuff, right? That's all kind of IP for my business. And then I'll say, just write down what you do for 3 days. Just because a lot of people think, oh, well, here's my favorite part. Oh, bro, I eat okay.
I would lie to you. I'm so happy. I'd be like, I have oatmeal for breakfast.
Well, just what it is there's a little interactive blog. I'm answering questions, but people go on there and say, look, I ate this for the last 2-3 days. I got this result. But it's really not that difficult to kind of decode. You just got to want to do it. But that's the thing is, you have to want to do it. People are always like, the discipline, you're not taking my fucking pizza away from me. You're not They think, well, what in reality is, when you put just a little bit of discipline, it actually opens up a lot more freedom. You're just holding on to the wrong thing. And that's
I think there's a big disconnect between I don't want to do it. I want the results. I want it to be done, but I don't want to do it. And that's the big problem.
No. And that's where that mentality has to shift. Right. Yeah. And that's why, look, right now is the easiest for man, fuck this dude. He's out here talking all this discipline. I'm fucking, there's no sports and I'm drinking and watching these guys to laugh. I get all that. You just take a little bit of what I'm talking about too. Just know that it'll ease this whole process. So when you come out of it, you're not fucking, they're talking about the quarantine 15, 20 people. There's so much. Look, this is real. The jobs right now are going to be scarce. You got to be about your business. So when you're competing, when you come out of this, that's the way I look at it, that you're fucking ready to go provide, if that's you right now. And that's a lot of people. I'm thankful I still have a gig. Straight up. I remember I lived in a trailer growing up, bro. My mom was waiting tables. This shit happened to me. When I was 12, I'd be fucking hungry, bro. Straight up. I remember that. I remember when my dad was on strike in the 80s in the coal mine, they laid him off. We didn't have no money. That shit, I still remember that. So the competition of that's real. So like get your shit together. So when you come up out of this, you're fucking ready to go kill it and provide. I'm telling you that shit is more real than ever right now.
Mm-hmm. I'm coming out, Jack. I'm coming out, Jack.
I'm thinking about it.
He's like, I got this.
All right, so tell the people if they're interested, what's the best way to get involved, to find you, and get in with the program.
Yeah, man. Just all platforms is at Cory G Fitness, no E, just CORYG Fitness. And then podcast is at Business and Biceps. So just check me out. If you have any questions, I answer all my DMs. I'd love to help. And I really appreciate you guys having me on. And
that's a great name, by the way. I think Cory G is a 3% of your success is being like, he's Cory G, the fitness guy, you know?
Yeah, it definitely helps. I mean, even back in the day, like even my varsity coat had a G on it. It's just something that kind of stuck with me for a long time. So
Cory G, we appreciate it, dude. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Have a good day. All right, see you, man. Later, guys.
All right. He's still fucking dancing around the HGH. Where do I get it? How do I do it? Is it gonna work? That's what I want to know. But really awesome stuff from a cool dude who I said it in the interview, but I really do get so jealous when I see people who are in shape, and it's just like you're just there. You got to worry about maintaining it, but that's really it. You just got it like that. That's so fucking annoying.
I think the maintaining is almost harder because
I know you can lose it like that, but that initial
I've been in good shape before, and then it's like once you get there, you're like, I did it, and then you stop.
And then you lose it. Yeah.
Like, all right, I got it. This is what I want to look like. I'm here, and then
sometimes I wonder what would it take for me to really commit. Like if you told me, like if your body mass index reaches this percentage, I'll shoot you in the head. I'd be like, all right, I have to work out every day. I think anything short of that, I'd be like, I don't know. Maybe I'll work out. I'm not sure. But maybe I'll get down with Cory. I got to talk to Cory and be like, I will be your biggest conquest. Like, don't worry about Dan Feidelberg. If you can get me in shape, you can do anything, sir. So let's talk to our boy Joe Coy now. Always a great guest of ours who dialed in last week from his quarantine. We talked a little comedy. We talked a little coronavirus and quarantine. It's brought to you by Zebra. It's been reported that Americans are overpaying on car insurance by over $21 billion. I know this for a fact. I get a fucking auto text every month. It's like, boom, $467 for car insurance. I was like, since fucking when? When did that happen? I don't know where I went wrong, but my bill just keeps on going up. So go to thezebra.com. It's the nation's leading car insurance comparison site because it's the only place you can compare quotes side by side from over 100 providers and choose the best one for you in 90 seconds or less. They will never sell your information to spammers, so you won't get all those unwanted calls or emails. You just answer a few questions on a simple and fast form. They find the best rates and coverage in your state. It's basically like the Kayak, but for auto insurance. So anybody who's ever used any of those sites that compare travel rates and hotels and airlines, this is that, but for car insurance. It's completely free, and they're saving people an average of $670 per year. So how much can you save on car and home insurance? Find out today. Go start saving at thezebra.com/KFC. That's thezebra, THEZEBRA.com/KFC. Let's talk to Joe Coy. We got Joe Coy back, making another KFC Radio appearance. We thank you for Skyping in. I know it's not the best of circumstances, but we got to make do, like you said. So thanks a lot for joining us.
Of course. Come on. Have to do this.
How's it going?
Hey, before we get into what kind, you're a little blurry, so I can't tell what kind of hat. Is that a fucking Buccaneers hat?
Bro, this is the greatest hat of all time. Check this out. I played El Paso, Texas, and their team mascot is the Chihuahuas. Are you kidding me?
Chihuahuas. Okay. It did look like Buccaneers for a second. You're right, Fights. I thought he was sticking it to you. I would have loved it.
That's what I thought too. We're gonna have problems.
How can you not love this hat? Look at the mascot. Look at the
wow. That is awesome.
Bro, I went to Lids and I found this hat and I go, how many do you have? They go, we got 12. I go, give me all 12.
No way.
Yeah, I got all 12. I'm never running out. This is the greatest team of all. The Chihuahuas?
When I was younger, I was a big UNLV guy. I love the Roman Rebels.
Yes.
That's the sick one.
The best. That was the best mascot too.
Yeah, I had a bunch of Running Rebels stuff. I didn't even know what UNLV stood for. I just like the Running Rebels and the mascot.
Are you ready for some history?
Yeah, always.
All right. So I went to school during that time, and so did my cousin. She was a cheerleader on that team, and then her husband was the Shark, the mascot.
No,
so he was running around as the Shark. Yeah, man. So I'm a rebel for life.
The St. Joe's Hawk. I went to Fordham. St. Joe's was in the A10. The St. Joe's Hawk has to always keep his arms moving at all time. The whole game, he goes like this. You get a free ride, I think, if you're a.
That's hilarious.
It's such a terrible job.
You got to do the slowest jumping jacks just to get a scholarship.
I mean, the whole game he would just sit there. He never stopped. It was pretty impressive.
The beginning of that gig was like, oh, I could do this all day. And then all day came around. I was like, man, what the fuck am I doing? I don't want to be a bird anymore. I'm supposed to be a lawyer.
It's crazy the stuff people do to go to college,
right?
Like be for free with a free scholarship, or just like, oh yeah, I work 2 jobs. I work at Starbucks in the morning. I work up at a bar at night. Just don't go.
Yeah,
it is fucking terrible.
It's not even worth it.
It's not worth it.
Yeah. Man. I'm blowing the dean. Like, bro, stop. You don't have to do that. It's just books.
The most overrated fucking place in the world. Don't do. If someone told you, do jumping jacks all day, and I'll give you you'd have to pay $50,000, but realistically, it's worth $12,000 maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
I'll fucking pass, man. I'm not taking that price.
I'll just stay stupid. Thank you.
Yeah, and also you get homework. Suck a dick.
So listen, yesterday we were talking about this whole quarantine process, and we all agreed that it's a lot easier to quarantine when you're fucking rich like you. So you're probably hanging out in your mansion. You got your grandma cooking. You got 12 Chihuahua hats. You get whatever the fuck you want in your beautiful life. Whereas, the rest of us, see, look at this. I'm stuck. See that TV on the wall is broken. Yeah. So I just had to get a second TV. I'm just living poor over here. So your quarantine's a little bit different than our quarantine, Joe.
Yeah, I mean, it is. I'm not trying to. I don't want to add salt to the wound, but yes, they are staying in the guest house. I'm sorry. Okay, it's a 2-bedroom guest house. It's fully loaded, stocked, fridged. It's near the pool, which is down the hill. That's a pain in the ass to walk to that. But other than that, I mean, yeah, there she's waving from the other house.
You motherfucker.
I'm hungry. I'm hungry. Yeah, so she just asked me what I want to eat via hand signals.
No, but it's wild, huh? I mean, have you been we've been yelling at people and preaching at people for the past 2-3 weeks to stay inside. So I hope that the Joe Cory clan is sitting in home.
This is day number 18. We've all been in the same spot.
Awesome. Good to hear.
Yeah. Come on, man. Do your part. Jesus Christ. Like it's not like it's we're making this up. It's one thing to have the whole world make this up. China never stops working for anything, and they stop.
Right.
So if they can stop, you can stop.
That's a great point.
Well,
1.4 billion people in China stop working. We're merely 350 million. Are you fucking kidding me? And you can't stop yourself from going to Miami to jump in the beach? You fucking assholes.
We were talking about they just canceled the Chinese basketball league. So a lot of Big Cat, a lot of guys here got really upset, thinking, well, if China's canceling, we're not playing anytime soon. And he made the point: in China, they could force them to play if they wanted to, and they shut down. So if they're calling it a day,
exactly
over here.
Good point. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah,
so true.
If they wanted to, they could be like, "Listen, get on the hardwood. We don't care. We need to be entertained." And even they're like, "Fuck it."
Dude, in China, China could literally do this. You get corona, bonus for everyone. But they're not doing that this time.
They might just start a whole new league, right?
Yeah.
It's like you got the regular league, Corona
league.
Just constant MJ flu games every week.
Yeah.
Like you see what fucking what's his name? Who's the shooter from BYU?
Which one? Who?
You see what Jimmy Fredette did last night? Motherfucker's got COVID-19. He's still dropping 35 footers.
Yeah, I mean, it's not great, but, you know, got to do what you got to do. How are you feeling as a comedian? I know
it hurt, man.
Yeah, I mean, I really feel like along with the bar and service industry, you guys have been hit the hardest. And I'm not exactly going to go cry a river for you, but you were really – you're hitting your stride. You're selling out fucking arenas. I mean, you were doing the damn thing, Joe. So I feel like that's got to hurt when you put a halt to the momentum.
Yeah, we had some big ones coming up too. We had Portland and Idaho; those were all arenas, and then of course Radio City Music Hall in New York.
Oh,
yeah, man. They were but you know what? We didn't cancel, so that's a beautiful thing. We just had to move it into the fall.
Mm-hmm.
But most importantly, man, it's all a health issue, man. Like I want everyone to be healthy. I would kill myself if I found out someone got it at one of my shows and then eventually died from it. So that's not even worth it.
We were talking about the other day where like you can also just fucking you can like look, health is important, number one, right? It's like cliche where everything is secondary, but at the same time, the secondary thing fucking sucks. It sucks I had to move my show.
Yeah, man.
You're allowed to say that too, or you should be allowed to say that.
Yeah.
Look, I want people to stay healthy, but also this fucking sucks.
Yeah, sucks. Bad. It took me 30 years to get here.
Yeah. And I'll also say that, like you said, it should be out of the goodness of your heart that you want to save other people. But if it's out of fear of being the asshole, if it was in the news saying Joe Coy's show is why we spread it to 10,000 more people, that could be a reason too. So whatever your motivation is, it could be selfish, it could be unselfish, but just make sure you do it. I don't care why you do it.
Yeah, exactly, man. I was making a point. Oh God, now I forgot it. I'll remember to say it in a second, man. It's right on the top of my head, but it just has something to do with how people are reacting about the public. God, I don't even know how to say it in words right now, man. I'm sorry, but it's just when you're in this situation now where it's a lot of people that are hanging out, and like yesterday I saw a video of people getting broken up for a birthday, having a birthday, right? And my whole thing is they were recording the cops breaking up the party. I'm like, okay, you're completely like desensitizing. Like when you see people recording cops doing bad things, I tend to go on the side of the person that's recording. I'm like, oh, that's fucked up on the cops' part. But this situation now made me think like, well, now people are just using that little defense mechanism, and he totally desensitized it because you're an asshole. The cop is there because the world doesn't want you to be hanging out and spreading this disease, and now you're fucking recording it and using it as if the cops are, this is I can't believe the cops are, this is brutality. It's like, no, you're an asshole.
In fact, they're not using enough force.
Yeah. Yeah, they should be. If there's one time police brutality should be the green light, it's fucking now.
Today. Beat the shit out of all of them. Fuck them. Look what India's doing. India's taking fucking baseball bats to people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Let's do that in America. I'm so sick of these people grabbing their phones and recording like, oh, look what's happening. I'm so innocent. I just wanted to go to a birthday. Motherfucker, everyone wants to go to a birthday.
Yeah. Dude,
we all want to go.
I know Kevin. I know Kevin doesn't watch, but I watch Westworld. I don't know if you watch it. And there was a line in the episode the other day where one of the robots is, he comes back to the place he's not supposed to be. And the other robot says to him, he goes, and here you are in the one place in the world you're not supposed to be. Makes me wonder if free will is overrated. And I was like, tell him. Like that shit was rated a year ago. It's fucking spot on.
100%, man. It just makes me mad. But here's the thing about Corona, right? Like, it's bad what's happening, but man, there's a lot of good that's happening. Like just like you said, like that situation. God, I don't want to get in trouble for saying what I want to say, but that situation is a perfect example of how when people record shit, you don't have to believe it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
There's another story.
Right. Every story, man.
Yeah. And it's just
when they started recording. It was 10 minutes before that you didn't see her.
You never saw.
Yeah.
But now I think this opened a lot of people's eyes. You know what I mean? Like I think that situation last night. You know what I'm talking about, right? Yeah.
I actually didn't see it, but
oh my God! So it was like somewhere in LA, and it's just they literally had a birthday party with like 100 people, and the neighbors called the cops. The cops came and broke it up, and they were throwing like a riot, like it was police brutality. Like they were holding their phones up and just like, yo, you can't do this. It's like, yeah. They can.
I'm looking at it right now. I'm looking at it right now, and on top of it, it was a 1-year-old birthday party.
Yeah.
Like he even fucking knows, you know?
Yeah. You're never gonna remember this. The day the 1-year-old spreaded the virus.
Fuck your 1-year-old. Whether we're in a pandemic or not, fuck your 1-year-old.
Yeah, fuck your 1-year-old.
Three years old up to the birthday party. One,
go fuck yourself.
Yeah, I'm looking at this now, and it's just like there's a line of cops, and they're just trying. I mean, the block is just so crowded. By the way, everybody's probably getting sick. It's crazy.
And they're holding up their phones, recording the cops. The cops are moving them. They're like, "Don't touch me." It's like, are you fucking kidding me right now? Are you really? Is that your mentality right now? Go the fuck home.
What do you been up to at home?
To be honest, I've been getting a lot done, man. So,
dude, me too. I just set up a record player. Very exciting stuff.
A record player.
No, look at this motherfucker right here. It just took me. It literally took me all day. I was so hard to set up.
Yeah.
Bam.
Wow.
You got great only playing the hits.
You got records?
Yeah, I have Miles Davis and the Greatest Showman. That's got all of my dad's too.
Wow.
You got Neil Diamond over there?
Yeah. Oh, I've been chilling to fucking Miles Davis all day, just fucking playing that whatever he plays. I don't know. Saxophone, horn, a brass instrument.
Horn.
You know what's crazy? For a minute there, I thought you were a real jazz fan, and then you're like Miles Davis with his horn.
I actually like jazz.
The saxohorn. I love this saxohorn. You fucking asshole.
I like jazz like a kid likes like sports, where I'm like, yeah, this is good. I can't tell you the history of it.
Yeah.
I like what I'm seeing right now. This is good stuff.
So we mentioned the arenas before. I was listening to Segura and Bert Kreischer's podcast, Two Bears, One Cave, and they were kind of running through the small list of people who are on that arena level. And they mentioned you along with, the company that you're in right now is a very small, exclusive, and impressive list.
Oh, thanks, man.
You got to feel like you and I feel like every time you come on the show, we've kind of had this discussion, but I feel like you probably have to have a feeling of like, you did it. You finally did it, right? Like
crazy, dude.
The next thing would be like maybe outdoor stadiums, but reasonably speaking, you reach the top.
Man, thank you, dude. That I'm telling you, when I did the forum, that was a magical night, man. I put my whole family on stage. There was like 20 of my family members on stage. I brought my son out on both shows. I sold it out twice, by the way. And we did, and the first show sold out in like an hour, and then the second one took like a couple days. But bringing my son out on that stage, and it's just the forum. They painted my name on the wall. I was just like, is this fucking happening right now?
How old is your son?
He's 7. He's gonna be 17 next month. So that was that moment where I got to like, he's at that age where he understands what I'm doing. Because if you would have came to my shows when he was coming to my shows 11 years ago, he had no idea what the fuck Dad was doing.
Right.
He was like, "Can we go home? This sucks." You know what I mean? But now he gets it. He's like, "Oh, I get it. Oh yeah."
My dad was selling out the forum. I'd be like, you're going to school every day, being like, you know what's up, right? You know what he does, right?
I made him take all his classmates. He brought all his classmates. I had a whole section out for him. Yeah, I let them get all the merch they wanted, dude. I hooked it up, dude. That was that moment, man. Yeah. It was for me and my son.
Dad's killing it when, like, every show you basically put up a fucking like a music video after every you come DJ, you got the fucking everything. I'm like, this is high production, serious shit he's doing here.
Yeah, man. If you're gonna do an arena, you got to show them why it's an arena.
Yeah,
Right.
You got to spend the money. I'm not going to give them the same show from the Improv. I'm going to give them the show that you guys paid for and waited for. So it was great. The surprise guests were amazing. Fluffy went up. He did time. Did unannounced. I didn't put them on the flyer. Nothing. No one knew. Adam Carolla went up. Tiffany Haddish went up. Wanye from Boys to Men went up. It was epic, bro. Epic.
It's not like a block party, not even a concert.
It was sick, dude. I did 2 hours first, and then at the end I just snuck everybody up, man. It was great.
Oh, they did after you.
Gabe and Tiffany went up at the beginning and did like a 5-minute set.
Yeah,
and
no big deal. Hey, Gabe, can you open up for me?
So
Hey,
dope.
Tiffany, do you mind taking a break from the whatever Chris Rock movie you're filming and come on down and open for me?
So cool.
Shit, no.
It was cool. The place went ape shit, man. But it was so cool to share that stage with those two people because we came up together, especially Tiffany. Tiffany used to babysit little Joe when I would go up at the Laugh Factory. So us on stage together was just like this full circle. Like, her and I used to be broke at the Laugh Factory eating $2 hot dogs at the end of the night, and we look forward to that. And to be able to share the stage together at the Forum, man, we both teared up and cried. It was great.
Wow. That's awesome. That's
man.
That's a great moment right there. I got to ask you a question.
And then the cocaine. Wow. Arena cocaine, man. Crazy.
That arena coke's better than the fucking Laugh Factory.
Man. Imagine it was a beautiful story, then all of a sudden, and the cocaine was crazy.
What do you think is
no cocaine? By the way, no cocaine.
What do you think is mentally and emotionally wrong with your friend Josh Wolf? What the fuck is wrong with that asshole? Do you know what he did to us? He basically was an internet terrorist to Barstool Sports the past a few weeks ago. He tormented us for 2 weeks straight. He sent me one of his. Are you on his text where he'll just send you a video that it's like a surprise, disgusting thing?
Oh yeah, always.
Right. So he sent me one that was just two guys getting fisted, and it was horrendous.
Yeah, he's the worst.
And I saw it, so I had to make John see it, and he puked. So the rest of my office was like, "You got to show it to me." And it basically terrorized all of Barstool Sports watching these two guys just give. And I'm just like, what?
I straight up puked. Straight up
puked in the garbage can, and it's all because of Josh fucking Wolf.
Yeah,
what's
he's
wrong
disgusting.
with that son of a bitch?
There's something mentally wrong with Josh. I think his brain physically stopped growing at 15.
Yes, he loves it.
It's a 15-year-old brain inside of a 45-year-old man. And I swear to God, I think every year he looks for a different frat house to join. Like he's just, I'm here, guys. I'll buy the beer. Like he's that guy, and I love him.
I know. He's a great dude. It's just, when you get to have
around, he's
block
amazing.
that number, man.
Huh?
I'm gonna block that number. You get a text from him, and it's just like, God, I'm not gonna sleep for days now. Josh is in the building.
It's so funny you said that because he just texted me, and I'll show you the text. Literally, he just texted me like an hour ago, and this is what he sent me. He goes, "Hey man, hey man, can you put this thing I did on Facebook? Can you tweet it out? It's this girl put a leech in my ass."
Oh Jesus!
What? They put a leech on my ass. Come on,
and look,
Josh.
Look, he just
like
said that.
there, like, yep,
I'm sorry, he didn't say in my ass. That would be how an adult says it. This is what the 15-year-old Josh Wolf said. Look, you can read it right there. They put a leech in my butthole. and that was sent to me at 12:03.
One sick pup, man.
And what did I do? I tweeted it.
I mean,
You know what I mean?
Leeches have like healing powers, though. Even hang on, Josh could be onto something here.
Yeah.
Let's like with the videos of police stuff. Maybe there's something to this. We don't know the whole story yet.
Maybe
I think there could be some healing power to leech on the butthole.
Yeah, maybe we stick leeches in our buttholes.
I'm gonna let you test that out first.
Yeah.
Go first. I'll go second.
So, it goes leech, then hamster. Ask Richard Gere.
So we've been saying how this is kind of this is our life basically anyway. We don't do much. We hang out on the couch. We're not very social,
and we watch a lot of TV. How have you been quarantining? Did you watch The Tiger King? Are you watching? What are you doing?
So it's all about The Tiger King. I watched that. I binge watched that, by the way. I watched that in one day. And then, dude, I found Righteous Gems, man, on Netflix.
So good. I just started that. It's awesome.
Holy shit, Danny McBride, Oscar. Give him an Oscar.
And you know what's scary? And I just wrote a blog about this last night because there was a televangelist who got up on stage at one of his mega churches and he proclaimed coronavirus over. He said, "You are done, and I demand you to go out." And honestly, Righteous Gemstones is really not that
not that far.
It's really
it's really
funny.
that.
It's funny to people like us, and it's like it's a documentary to other people.
Yeah,
that shit.
It's like a legit mockumentary, but it's based on real facts.
It's crazy.
Like I believe their religion more than anybody else's religion. I believe in it. It's so true.
The one guy that I blogged about is worth $760 million, Joe.
Tax-free, by the way. I don't think people know that. Tax-free. Pay no taxes.
And I was reading up on him. He's like, these guys, they have every Bible passage that cites that you're allowed to have money and that luxury is okay. Wants you to be happy. They got it. They got it ready to go.
If you buy something expensive with the Lord's money, all you have to say is the Lord bought this for me. I didn't buy this. I didn't even want it. I remember looking at the Lord and saying, "I don't want that Rolex." And the Lord said, "You deserve it."
There was one guy who
he's got 3 private jets, 3 of them.
Fucking asshole.
He said there's another one that said he believes in supernatural sustenance. So he said, "I know you look at that toilet paper and you say to yourself, what am I going to do? There's no toilet paper left." And you go in the next day and there's more toilet paper. And the next day there's more toilet paper. We call that supernatural sustenance. It's like, no, you have to buy the toilet paper and there's none left, you fucking asshole.
But the best part of the racket is he'll say that you gotta pay him tithes,
right?
For
the supernatural.
Unless you give him money and you gotta is it? You sow your seed, you sow your tithe, whatever it is, and then it will just fucking appear. And I don't even think that's scamming. I don't.
No. I think you're dumb enough to pay me for that. Sure.
I think that's on you. I always thought that when I watched Wolf of Wall Street too, when they would just call up people and they're like, "Oh, it's penny stock trading, it's illegal or whatever." It's like, dude, if some guy just calls me and I give him $5,000, that's on me. I think
that's on you.
Right.
You've been taught since a kid never to answer the phone or talk to strangers.
Right.
And you did it as an adult. Go fuck yourself. You're out 5,000. I'm not crying.
Yeah, SEC doesn't need to get involved in that. That's just someone sure taking advantage of an idiot. But it's your fault. You're an idiot. You should have done jumping jacks all through college and gotten a full ride. Be smarter.
There you go. A stupid is as a stupid does.
Let me ask you one more question before we wrap up here. I've seen some comedians are trying to do like virtual stand-up in front of
absolutely never.
No, that's what I thought. I feel like a lot of people are leaning that way, that it's just trash.
That's dumb.
Yeah.
I need to interact with humans. I'm never going to become a virtual reality dude, whatever the fuck that is. That's not real. I'm a human. I need to have human contact, and I need to socialize with real humans in front of me.
What if I told you that you could do a live stream tonight and you're going to get 15,000 people to tune in, though? You're not doing it?
Nope.
Gotta be tangible. Gotta be in person.
But they're going to be hitting the emoji with the laughing face.
Hearts will be popping up.
Hell no. That is so bad. I can't believe if there's comics if there's comics that are doing it, God bless you. That's your art. That's what you want to do, then do it. You know what I mean?
That's the polite way of saying you're a fucking loser if you do that.
Yeah, man, you're a fucking loser, by the way.
You're also at a point in your career where if you press pause for a couple months, you're not going to like lose your fan base. You're a pro. You don't need to really. You can do this. I don't know if you were. What would you tell the young comic who's like, I was cutting my teeth, I was learning, and now I can't do anything. Is there any option? Is there any?
Well, I mean, any comic that's starting off, man, we all had to go through some dry spells. Like it wasn't the coronavirus. But I remember when I first started, I mean, there was months where I didn't have gigs. There was months where I didn't get any stage time. You know what I mean? I mean, I remember Tiffany and I wouldn't even see each other for a month before we got a spot at the Laugh Factory on a Saturday night. So it's like,
That's
it's a
how it
month.
is.
It's a month, man. Like that's the beginning stages of anything you do, anything that you pursue, especially when it comes to do with like talent type dreams that you're trying to follow. You know what I mean? Like you're trying to follow your you want to become a singer or a dancer or a comedian. Like already you should know that there's going to be a lot of sleepless nights where your stomach is hungry. You already know that. So yeah, unfortunately this sucks, but I mean, we have a lot of tools in our hands now that can make you become creative and also talk to your fan base and build your fan base. If this was happening 20 years ago, 30 years ago when I started, there was no way I could talk to my people. I would have to literally write a letter to each person,
Right.
get to the mailbox and send it out. So at least this way I can talk to. Are you still there?
Yeah, no, we're good.
How am I getting that up? What just happened? We hit a stride.
You're fine. You're good. Nothing
Yeah,
happened.
but I don't know how to do this. Hold on, stay on and leave all this in because it's great.
Yeah. Well, nothing happened on our end. So I don't know. You're frozen, but I can still hear you. So nothing happened.
Are you still there?
Yeah.
We're still here.
Hold on. God dang it. I don't know how to do this.
Do what? What happened? You were good.
I know, but I don't know how to. Here you go. I got it. I think I found it. Here it is. I'm so sorry, you guys.
You can
Are you
just hang
mad
up.
at me? Don't hang up. I got you.
No, I mean you're gonna hang up when you're like, I got it. I think you're just gonna accidentally hang up because we're on.
What the heck is going on?
Are you on your laptop, a tablet, a phone? What are you on?
Yeah, I'm on the laptop, but I can't find Skype.
What happened though? You were totally fine. Did you click something?
And then, yeah, I got one of those. I got. What is it called?
It's the porn, isn't it? It's the porn.
No, it's you jerk. No, it's here we go. I think I found it. Hold on. What the heck? How do you open this?
Joe,
Dude,
are you like
the reason why it's not
old?
my computer.
Call your grandma over to help. She probably knows this better than you. You
Oh my
old son.
there. Okay, so let me explain what just happened. Are we on?
We're good.
Yeah, we're good.
You see me? Why am I not moving?
Yeah, you're a little bit frozen, but that's fine.
Oh.
I told you he's gonna hang up.
Yep.
Am I back?
Oh, he's back. Look at that. Was quick.
Am I back?
I can hear you. I see a black screen. What do you see, John?
I got
Hold
black
on.
screen.
Hold on. We're not. I want you to save all of this.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Now, this is going to be like our promo clip. Like, tune into the interview. We're
This
just
is the best part of our show today.
You jerks. What the heck? Everyone can see you. That's what it says. How do you open up the camera? Walk me through.
at the bottom where it says like mute and cam and mic.
Yeah.
And stuff.
Yeah.
Click, I don't know, click cam mic, then go to camera.
Yeah.
I don't know. What does it say there?
Can you see me now?
No.
What the heck is going on?
Did you click stop cam?
Should I?
Click it and then unclick it. Now do it again. That was my that was my guess.
That's your equivalent to blow on the cartridge.
Right.
Yeah.
Unplug it, plug it back in. Didn't work. Okay.
Oh my God, I'm so mad right now.
Well, it doesn't matter because you're fucking ugly, so we don't have to look at you anymore.
Oh, that was very nice of you to say that. That was so nice. Hold on.
Um,
Look at this. I'm gonna call.
You know.
Don't hang up because I'm gonna get assistance right now. I'm gonna get my tech, who happens to be my cousin.
How many people you got there, Joe?
It's a small orphanage.
It's like Parasite. You got them in the basement and shit.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, they're all working.
It's a small orphanage.
Ping, help me. Get over here real quick. Run over here. Hurry. All right, he's coming right now.
You charging rent for these guys or what?
Huh?
You charging rent for these guys?
You know, this is the one good thing about my situation is I can afford to do this, and I'm happy that I can do this for them. There's so many people here, and I'm so happy.
When you say my situation, you mean being a rich person?
All right. Yes, that's what I meant. I got the camera turned off. Turn the camera back on. He doesn't know how to do it either.
Well, you know what? we were probably gonna wrap up soon anyway. So
No, that sucks, KFC.
Wait, Joe, we got to ask you real quick though before we let you go. You've been TikToking in quarantine? I heard rumors.
No, I would never do that. By the way, you're a jerk. No. God, this sucks. We can't turn on the camera. What happened?
I think that you would be great at TikTok.
No. First of all, if you are over the age of 40, get the fuck off of TikTok.
40? If you're over the age of like 14, I think you should get off of TikTok.
It's so funny because I got a bunch of people that are in their 30s and they're doing it. So I was thinking, okay, you got to be 30 to do it. So that's what I thought. I
do believe there's a conspiracy theory that TikTok is a Chinese-owned company and everyone's trapped at home logging into TikTok now. This could just be one social media racket for all we know.
Oh my God, dude. That's 100% what they're doing right now. They're recording us looking like assholes.
100%.
100%.
So, as long as we survive, whatever, man. Listen, we thank you so much for coming through, as always. And when you do get back out there, keep on selling those tickets and making people laugh, man.
Dude, I'm sorry this happened with the camera.
Bro, it's actually better this way. It will be funnier, I promise you. Don't worry.
I love you guys.
Have a good one.
Love you too.
Bye, you guys.